The divine sword is invincible. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 276. Barely considered a genius. Extremely strong. 9th level of Wuzong. Yang Xiaoshan was stunned. Zuoqiu nodded. Yes, 9th level of Wuzong. It's surprising, right? He has had a great adventure, so he can practice so fast. Few people of the same age can match him. Yang Xiaoshan smiled. He just saw Zuoqiu's serious look and thought that Zhao Qiang was very strong, but he didn't expect that he was only 9th level of Wuzong. If he is the same age as Zhao Qiang in 5 years, he should be able to break through to Wuzong. But think about it, just because he has twin supreme martial spirits and practices fast, it doesn't mean that others can practice fast. Let's go. Let's pay the registration fee. Zuoqiu took Yang Xiaoshan to the place where the registration fee was paid. However, when they arrived at the place, Yang Xiaoshan was stunned. He saw a long team like the Great Wall from one hill to another. Are all these people here to pay the registration fee? Yang Xiaoshan was surprised. Zuoqiu smiled and said, very surprised. Actually, this is too little. When there are many people, you have to wait for half a year to pay the tuition. Half a year? Yang Xiaoshan didn't know what to say for a moment. It seems that there are really many rich people in the Foyan Empire. There are few people now, so it should be possible to pay the tuition in 3 or 4 months. Zuoqiu said. 3 or 4 months. If they line up, not only will the opportunity be cold, but Kang Shen's heart will also be cold. Is there any other way? Yang Xiaoshan asked. Yes. Zuoqiu smiled and said, there is a stone tablet on the mountain in front, which is used to detect talent. If you can activate the stone tablet, you can not only pass the registration directly, but also reduce the registration fee by half. The stone tablet for detecting talent? Yang Xiaoshan looked at the mountain in front. Sure enough, there were many people surrounding the mountain in front, but the number was much smaller than this side. Yes, the stone tablet for detecting talent. Zuoqiu said, but it's very difficult to activate the stone tablet. 99 out of 100 people cannot activate the stone tablet, and if you can't activate the stone tablet, you have to pay another 10,000 gold. No wonder there are so few people. However, it can also be seen that geniuses are still treated preferentially in the Xianzang Academy. Let's go and take a look. Yang Xiaoshan said. Zuoqiu was immediately excited when she heard this. Okay. Then she took Yang Xiaoshan to the stone tablet in the front mountain to detect talent. She was also curious about Yang Xiaoshan's talent. The two came to the stone tablet. Zhao Qiang, the Zhao family member they had just met, was also there. In addition to Zhao Qiang, there were several other family disciples who were also testing their talents. At this time, a family disciple circulated his true energy and punched the stone tablet. Suddenly, the stone tablet shone, and a light flashed at the bottom of the stone tablet. This light continued to climb upwards. Finally, it stopped at a value of 90. Seeing this, the family disciple was disappointed and left with a decadent look on his face. Zuoqiu explained to Yang Xiaoshan, only when the value reaches more than 100 can the stone tablet be activated. That family disciple is still a little short of it. Can talent be detected by just attacking the stone tablet with fist force? Yang Xiaoshan asked in confusion. Zuoqiu said, don't underestimate this stone tablet. This stone tablet has been passed down from ancient times. There is a supreme divine formation inside. When your fist force hits the stone tablet, the supreme divine formation can judge your combat power according to the thickness of your true essence. Thus judge your talent. Yang Xiaoshan suddenly realized. Generally speaking, the most direct way to show talent is combat power. The stronger the combat power, the stronger the talent. For example, even if he does not use the heavenly sword or the divine sword, he can knock away a martial emperor of the 3rd or even 4th level with one punch. Yang Xiaoshan's eyes fell on the top of the stone tablet. Is there anyone with a value of 10,000? ZUOQIU was stunned, shook his head and smiled. Even the invincible sword gods such as the Demon Heaven Sword God and the Blue Lotus Sword God in those days, the values were only 5,000. Since the establishment of the Xianzang Academy, no one has ever exceeded 6,000, let alone 10,000. At this time, it was Xiao Qiang from the Xiao family's turn. Xiao Qiang came to the stone tablet, circulated his true essence, and his whole body was actually flooded with golden Buddha light. This is the Xiao family's immeasurable golden Buddha technique. ZUOQIU's face condensed. Only when you practice to the 9th level can the Buddha's light on your body surface ripple. It is rare for someone like Xiao Qiang to be able to practice the immeasurable golden Buddha technique to such a level at his age. Suddenly, Xiao Qiang shouted, and slapped his palm. A golden Buddha's palm flew out of the air, and landed on the stone tablet. Bang! A dull sound rang out from the stone tablet. A ray of light continued to rush up from the bottom of the stone tablet. Soon, it reached 100. When it reached 100, the entire stone tablet was shining brightly, illuminating the surrounding area. After the light reached 100, it did not stop, and continued to climb upwards. It stopped only when it reached 300. The surrounding disciples were amazed. It was not easy to activate the stone tablet when the value reached 100, and it was rare to break through 300. Xiao Qiang saw that he had broken through 300 and smiled with satisfaction. After Xiao Qiang, it was Yang Xiaoshan's turn. Xiao Qiang wanted to leave, but when he saw Yang Xiaoshan, he stopped and wanted to see the result of Yang Xiaoshan's talent test. Yang Xiaoshan came to the stone tablet. ZUOQIU also looked at Yang Xiaoshan without blinking. Yang Xiaoshan circulated his true energy and punched the stone tablet. The light of the stone tablet rushed up, very fast at first, but when it rushed to the value of 100, it suddenly slowed down and finally stopped at 101. ZUOQIU was disappointed when he saw this number. On the way, he saw Yang Xiaoshan talking and thinking that he had a good talent. Even if he couldn't compare with Xiao Qiang, he should be able to break through 200. But he didn't expect that he just exceeded 100 and could barely activate the stone tablet. Yang Xiaoshan saw the number, but his face was normal. For him, as long as he could activate the stone tablet, he would pass the registration. He naturally knew his talent and didn't need to prove it through the stone tablet test. Therefore, he kept suppressing his true energy and strength just now. The punch force just now was only 1% of his strength. If he had a divine golden elixir running, he could completely break through 10,000 with all his strength. This is only the power of one of his divine golden elixirs. Seeing that Yang Xiaoshan's value could barely break through 100, Xiao Qiang sneered and said, "You keep talking about 10 sword hearts. I thought you had a strong talent, but it turns out that you can only barely activate the stone tablet. But it's not bad. You can barely be considered a genius." Xiao Qiang laughed and walked away. Afterwards, ZUOQIU led Yang Xiaoshan to pay half of the tuition and received the identity card of the Xianzang Academy. However, when Yang Xiaoshan wanted to climb the Xianzang mountain, ZUOQIU told Yang Xiaoshan that the Xianzang mountain was only open one day a month. If he wanted to climb the Xianzang mountain, he had to wait until next month. Only open one day a month. Yang Xiaoshan was surprised. The Sky Burial Mountain is full of sword spirits, and there are even innate sword spirits on the top of the mountain. All the disciples of the Sky Burial Academy are vying to enter the Sky Burial Mountain for training. ZUOQIU explained, in order to maintain the stability of the sword spirits of the Sky Burial Mountain, the Academy stipulates that it is only open one day a month. And not everyone can enter the Sky Burial Mountain for training. There are tens of thousands of students in the Sky Burial Academy. If everyone enters the Sky Burial Mountain for training, the Sky Burial Mountain will be overcrowded. Chapter 277, A Body of Ice and Charm. What did you say just now? There is an innate sword spirit on the top of Xianzang Mountain? Yang Xiaoshan's heart beat faster. He has now condensed 9 color sword hearts. If he condenses one more, it will be 9. Seeing Yang Xiaoshan's excited reaction, ZUOQIU was not surprised and said, "Yes, there is an innate sword spirit on the top of Xianzang Mountain, but you'd better not dream of these innate sword spirits. Because no one can walk to the top of Xianzang Mountain. There is an extremely terrifying innate sword formation at the top of Xianzang Mountain. Even gods can't get through this innate sword formation. Yang Xiaoshan was stunned. Innate sword formation? Yes. Zuoqiu nodded and said, the Green Lotus Sword God and others can't get through that innate sword formation. Even the powerful gods will be blasted out as soon as they step into that innate sword formation. No one can last 2 breaths. Innate sword formation? Yang Xiaoshan was very relieved. Gods can't get through the innate sword formation, but he has Uncle Ding. It was Uncle Ding who took him into the innate sword formation of Black Snow Mountain. How many innate sword spirits are there in that innate sword formation? Yang Xiaoshan asked. I don't know about that. Zuoqiu shook his head. However, the founder of Xianzang practiced in Xianzang Mountain for many years. He knows Xianzang Mountain and that innate sword formation best. He left a book called Xianzang Mountain. It is in the deepest part of the Xianzang Academy's library. If you want to know, you can go and find that book. It's just that it's not easy to enter the deepest part of the Xianzang Academy's library. I heard that the books inside have become spirits. If you are not a god, you can't enter at all. Yang Xiaoshan wrote it down. He decided to go into the library to find the book later. You just said that not everyone can practice in Xianzang Mountain. What does that mean? Yang Xiaoshan asked. What are the conditions for entering Xianzang Mountain? Zuoqiu said, there is no free lunch in the world. Xianzang Academy stipulates that if you want to enter Xianzang Mountain, to absorb the sword spirit energy, you must use contribution points to exchange. 10,000 contribution points in exchange for 1 day of practice in Xianzang Mountain. Yang Xiaoshan stared. 10,000 contribution points in exchange for 1 day of practice in Xianzang Mountain? This Xianzang Academy is really a scam. He is the son of the true dragon god sect, so of course he knows how difficult it is to accumulate 10,000 contribution points. After completing a task, it is generally 10 contribution points. After completing a particularly difficult task, it is 100 contribution points. 10,000 contribution points, wouldn't that be 100 particularly difficult tasks? Even if one particularly difficult task is completed in a month, it will take about 10 years to complete 100. Is there any other way? Yang Xiaoshan asked. Zuoqiu shook his head. There is no other way. This is the rule set by the founder of the Sky Burial. Even the current dean must abide by this rule. Yang Xiaoshan frowned. Is it possible to force his way into the Sky Burial Mountain? Thinking of this, he had a headache. On the way, he learned about the Sky Burial Academy. The Sky Burial Academy is unfathomable. There are more than 10 ancestors at the level of gods. Moreover, the Sky Burial Academy has a great influence in the Buddhist Empire and even in the surrounding empires. Even the Buddhist imperial family and the imperial family of the surrounding empires dare not mess around in the Sky Burial Academy. If he breaks into the Sky Burial Mountain and breaks the rules of the Sky Burial Academy, he will definitely be put on the wanted list by the Sky Burial Academy. By then, he will have no place to stand in the Foyan Empire or even the surrounding empires. Seeing Yang Xiaoshan worried, Zuoqiu said, I remember that the Sky Burial Academy seems to have several tasks with 10,000 contribution points. Yang Xiaoshan was very excited when he heard it. But this kind of task has not been completed by anyone for 10,000 years. Zuoqiu shook his head and said, it's harder than climbing to the sky to complete it. There are countless strong people and geniuses in the Sky Burial Academy. No one has been able to complete it in 10,000 years, so you can imagine how difficult this task is. How do I accept these tasks? Yang Xiaoshan asked. Zuoqiu saw that Yang Xiaoshan was interested, and then took Yang Xiaoshan to the task hall. The task hall of the Sky Burial Academy was crowded with people, even more than the people in the Shenlong Imperial capital. At a glance, it was full of people. Seeing so many people queuing up in the task hall to receive tasks, Yang Xiaoshan's forehead was black. He didn't expect that the Sky Burial Academy would have to queue so long to receive a task. He looked at the long queue and was afraid that it would take several more days to wait for the queue to finish. Seeing Yang Xiaoshan's painful expression, Zuoqiu smiled and said, don't worry, brother. The 10,000 year mission is not here, but there. He pointed to a deserted corner of the hall. Yang Xiaoshan felt relieved. Just as Yang Xiaoshan was about to go over, he saw that the crowd in the hall suddenly became agitated, and many people looked at the entrance of the hall. Yang Xiaoshan was wondering, and saw a woman wearing a fiery red dress, with a hot body, a plump chest, and a pure face walked in. In the woman's hand, there was a bloody head. It's Senior Sister Mu Yunshin. Senior Sister Mu Yunshin is back. I heard that a month ago, she accepted the mission to kill the Black Ghost Demon. I didn't expect that she really killed the Black Ghost Demon and brought back the head of the Black Ghost Demon. In the hall, countless disciples talked about it. Everyone looked at Mu Yunshin, and their eyes were burning. To be precise, they were all staring at each other's big chests. Zuoqiu said to Yang Xiaoshan, Senior Sister Mu Yunshin is born with a glamorous body, a 13th level martial spirit, and an incomparable talent. Her swordsmanship is enough to enter the top 10 among the younger generation of the entire Xianzang Academy. There are tens of millions of students in Xianzang Academy. The top 10 of the younger generation shows how amazing her talent is. However, what surprised Yang Xiaoshan was that this woman was born with a glamorous body. This special physique is very rare, and of course, it is also very powerful. A woman with this physique has a strong temptation to men in every move, smile and frown. Mu Yunshin carried the head of the Black Ghost Demon and walked to the task station. When she passed by Yang Xiaoshan, she glanced at Yang Xiaoshan with a surprised look. Because her glamorous heart is extremely sensitive to the power of fire, she felt the amazing power of fire from this young boy. This amazing power of fire should be a strange fire, and it should be a strange fire ranked in the top 100. Otherwise, the power of fire cannot be so amazing. When Mu Yunshin took the head of the Black Ghost Demon to the task station to hand in the task, Yang Xiaoshan also walked to the task station to accept the 10,000-year task and then looked through the 10,000-year tasks. There are 4 10,000-year tasks in total. After reading these 4 10,000-year tasks, Yang Xiaoshan smiled bitterly because these 4 10,000-year tasks are almost impossible to complete. For example, the first one is to take a ball of golden flame from the body of the beast god Golden Flame Sky Dragon of the Beast God Mountain. The beast god Golden Flame Sky Dragon of the Beast God Mountain is definitely one of the strongest in the Kangshen continent. Who dares to take a ball of golden flame from it? Isn't that courting death? I'm afraid that his senior brother Kinglian Sword God doesn't have this strength. With a bitter smile, Yang Xiaoshan's eyes fell on the last 10,000-year task. It is almost impossible for others to complete this task, but he can, because he has the flame of the earth and the thunder tribulation divine fire. Chapter 278 Heavenly Buddha Cauldron. More than 10,000 years ago, the Xianzang Academy obtained the Xian Foding. The Xian Foding was the cauldron used by the ancient Thousand Buddha medicine god to refine medicine. The Thousand Buddha medicine god was the first medicine god of the Foyuan Empire, and the most powerful and the most skilled medicine god among the 3 medicine gods of the Foyuan Empire. The value of his Xian Foding can be imagined. However, the Xian Foding was full of purple cold ice. Purple cold ice was the most terrifying ice in the world. The longer it was, the more amazing it would swallow the cold air of the world. The Xianzang Academy tried all kinds of methods, but could not melt the purple cold ice. If the purple cold ice could not be melted, the Xian Foding could not be used and would only be a useless cauldron. Therefore, the Xianzang Academy issued a task. If anyone could melt the purple cold ice, the elixir in the Xian Foding would belong to him, and he would be rewarded with 10,000 contribution points. Yang Xiaoshan planned to take on this Xian Foding task. What, you want to take the Xian Foding mission? The deacon who managed the mission was surprised when he heard that Yang Xiaoshan was going to take the Xian Foding mission. His voice was quite loud, which immediately attracted the attention of all the students in the hall. Who is this kid? He actually dared to take the Xian Foding mission. It has been hundreds of years. No one dared to take the Xian Foding mission. There was a lot of discussion in the hall. At this time, Xiao Qiang also came to the mission hall. Seeing that Yang Xiaoshan was going to take the Xian Foding mission, he smiled and said to everyone, I know this kid. He just came in through the Tangshan stone tablet. However, his talent value is just 101. A waste with a talent value just over 100 actually dared to take the Xian Foding mission. It's really laughable. At this time, a domineering and arrogant voice sounded. Everyone looked over and saw a tall young man walking in from outside. The young man had two horns on his head, and he was extraordinary. He had the power of a demon god, which made people afraid. Seeing the young man, many masters in the hall changed their faces, including Zeduoqiu. It's senior brother Hizen. Senior brother Hizen. In the hall, many students bowed in awe. Senior brother Hizen. He was born with the body of a demon god. Zeduoqiu was afraid that Yang Xiaoshan would offend Hizen, so he quickly said, his talent test value is more than 2000, which is even better than senior sister Mu Yunshan. According to the stone tablet talent test, anyone who can exceed 1000 is a monster. Hizen's talent value can reach more than 2000. How amazing, how strong. And he is from the He family of Dongliang, and he is the young master of the He family. Zeduoqiu said again. The He family of Dongliang. It is definitely one of the most powerful and oldest families in the Foyuan Empire. Yang Xiaoshan ignored everyone and said to the steward who was in charge of the tasks, the academy doesn't stipulate that students with a talent value of 100 cannot accept the Cheyenne folding task, right? That's not the case. The steward looked Yang Xiaoshan up and down and said, please think carefully. You need to pay 1 million gold to accept the 10,000 year task. If you can't complete it, the 1 million gold cannot be refunded, and you can't accept the task again within 1 year. In the past, many students accepted the Cheyenne folding task just for fun and to see the legendary Cheyenne folding. Therefore, the academy stipulates that you have to pay 1 million gold to accept the 10,000 year task. Of course, if you can really complete the task, the academy will refund 10 million gold. Without saying a word, Yang Xiaoshan handed the 1 million gold to the other party and then accepted the Cheyenne folding task. Seeing that Yang Xiaoshan still accepted the Cheyenne folding mission, he then snorted coldly, you don't know your own limits. You don't know whether you live or die. In the past, there were students who accepted the Cheyenne folding mission, but not only could they not melt the purple cold ice in the cauldron, but the icy air of the purple cold ice invaded their bodies, and they were finally frozen like a dead chicken. In Hizen's opinion, Yang Xiaoshan would definitely be frozen like a dead chicken in a while. Afterwards, the mission steward led Yang Xiaoshan to the medicine hall where the Cheyenne folding was placed. Seeing this, everyone followed him. Mu Yunshan also followed him. She was also curious whether the strange fire in this boy's body was one of the top 100 strange fires. He then saw Mu Yunshan also followed him and couldn't help but say, Junior Sister Mu, what's so good about this? This kid will definitely be frozen like a dead chicken by the purple cold ice in a while. Mu Yunshan ignored Hizen and followed him directly. Hizen looked at Mu Yunshan's charming body with hot eyes and followed him. Soon, Yang Xiaoshan and others came to the medicine hall where the heavenly Buddha cauldron was placed. The mission steward opened the door of the medicine cauldron. The medicine hall was very large, with a golden cauldron placed in the center. However, the body of this cauldron was completely covered with purple ice. Affected by the cold air of the purple ice, the entire medicine cauldron was like an ice cellar that had existed for thousands of years. Even some weak students were shivering with cold just by approaching the door of the medicine hall. When Yang Xiaoshan entered the medicine hall, he felt the cold penetrated his bones. When he approached the cauldron, his hands and feet were frozen stiff. Yang Xiaoshan circulated his true energy, and then he felt better. Even so, when he came to the heavenly Buddha cauldron, the blood in his body was frozen and almost solidified. Yang Xiaoshan's current true dragon tyrant body was already perfect, and he could not resist the icy air of the purple cold ice, let alone other students. After entering the hall, other students only dared to watch from afar. He can walk to the heavenly Buddha cauldron. It seems that he is still quite capable. A family master who was with Hizen said. Hizen sneered and said, it's just walking to the front of the Cheyenne folding. Many students in the academy can do it. If he dares to touch the Cheyenne folding, the purple cold icy air will burst out like a tsunami, instantly drowning and swallowing him. I don't believe he really dares to put his hand on the Cheyenne folding. Under the gaze of everyone, Yang Xiaoshan raised his hand to the Cheyenne folding. At the moment, when Yang Xiaoshan's hand touched the Cheyenne folding, Suddenly, the purple light of the Cheyenne folding surged, and the terrifying purple cold icy air rushed out from the world inside the ding like an angry tsunami, trying to swallow Yang's ocean. He then saw it and smiled. At the moment when the purple cold icy air was about to swallow Yang's ocean, suddenly, the starlight in Yang's ocean's body rushed up to the sky, and the heavy starlight actually dispersed the purple cold icy air that filled the hall. The hall, which was originally shockingly cold, was actually warm like spring. Star flames continued to emerge from Yang's ocean's body. The sky above the hall instantly turned into a starry world. Yang's ocean's right hand was about to be frozen into an ice sculpture, and the starfire surged out. The purple cold ice gas that the Cheyenne folding had just rushed out like a tsunami was burned clean. Strange fire, star flame. Seeing the flames coming out of Yang's ocean, everyone was stunned and shouted in shock. There are more than 10,000 kinds of spiritual fire and hundreds of kinds of strange fire. Even in the Cheyenne Zhang Academy, it is rare to be able to subdue the strange fire of heaven and earth, let alone the top 100 strange fires. Zuoqiu was also surprised. His end smile froze. Mu Yunshin was relieved. As she guessed, this young boy subdued the top 100 strange fires. However, she shook her head and felt disappointed. Although this young boy had the top 100 strange fires, it was impossible for him to melt the purple cold ice of the Cheyenne folding. Chapter 279 is the flame of the earth. Because, in the past, there was a genius pharmacist in the Cheyenne Zhang Academy who tried to melt the purple cold ice with the first 100 strange fires, but they all failed. Sure enough, as Mu Yunshin guessed, after the purple cold ice gas that came out of the Buddha cauldron was burned clean, the purple cold ice gas continued to flow out of the cauldron, and the gushing purple cold ice gas became stronger and stronger. After a few breaths, the star flame in Yang's ocean's palm was completely suppressed. The purple cold ice gas swallowed Yang's ocean again. He then saw it and laughed loudly, laughing wildly. I have said that he doesn't know how to live or die. What if he has the first 100 strange fires? He will still be frozen to death later. With or without the first 100 strange fires, the result is the same. It's just a matter of a few breaths sooner or later. Seeing that the purple cold ice gas was about to swallow Yang's ocean again, Mu Yunshin secretly thought it was a pity. After all, with the first 100 strange fires, this young boy could have a very good future, but now he is going to die under the purple cold ice gas. Seeing that the purple cold ice energy was about to drown Yang's ocean, at this moment, suddenly, a phoenix cry resounded through the world. Then, another phoenix cry sounded. There were 9 phoenix cries in total. Astonishing golden light shot up from Yang's ocean's body. When the golden light shot up, it actually penetrated the roof of the hall and directly blasted into the sky. The entire medicine hall was shocked. At this moment, all the masters on the mountain, where the medicine hall was located, looked up in shock and saw the golden light in the sky. Even the masters of the academies on the surrounding mountains were shocked by the golden light. As the golden light rushed up, golden flames shot up into the sky. The hall that was originally shrouded by the purple cold ice energy again, the light was bright, and all the purple cold ice energy was burned out again. The purple cold ice energy that was swallowed by Yang's ocean was burned completely by the golden flames. 9 phoenixes with golden flames entangled Yang's ocean's body. The golden fire waves rolled and covered the sky. Seeing the golden flames rolling in, the students who were originally in the hall were so scared that they quickly fled the hall. The top 10 strange fires, the 9 phoenix golden flame. He then was shocked. Mu Yunshin's cherry mouth was also opened as wide as possible, her chest heaving, and her beautiful eyes were full of disbelief. Zuoqiu and the task steward were also shocked. He actually subdued 2 strange fires. Which family is he from? When did such a monster appear in the Foyan Empire? Outside the hall, every student was shocked. Being able to subdue the top 100 strange fires is rare in the Cheyenne Zhang Academy, so being able to subdue the top 10 strange fires is an extremely evil existence in the Foyan Empire. Not to mention, being able to subdue the flame of the stars and the 9 phoenix golden flame at the same time. The 9 phoenix golden flame is worthy of being the 9th ranked strange fire. Under the suppression of its flame power, the purple cold ice gas completely shrank back into the Cheyenne Fo cauldron. The cold air in all corners of the hole completely disappeared. Even if you have the 9 Phoenix golden flame, it is impossible to melt the purple cold ice. Zen was shocked and said with an ugly face, "Thousands of years ago, there was a genius pharmacist in the Xianzang Academy who also used the top 10 strange fires to burn the purple cold ice and the 8th ranked red sun flame, but it could not melt the purple cold ice." As Zen said, although the 9 Phoenix golden flame is amazingly powerful, it can only compress the purple cold ice gas back into the Xianfo cauldron. When the 9 Phoenix golden flame tried to flow into the Xianfo cauldron, it was always blocked by the purple cold ice gas outside. It seems that the 9 Phoenix golden flame cannot burn the purple cold ice. An expert outside the hall shook his head and said, "I heard that Master Qian Fiyu couldn't melt the purple cold ice with the red sun flame." Qian Fiyu was the genius pharmacist of the Xianzang Academy thousands of years ago. Mu Yunshan also turned from shock to pity. The mission deacon also woke up from the surprise and shook his head. Yang Xiaoshan used all his strength to activate the power of the 9 Phoenix golden flame. Suddenly, the light of the 9 Phoenix golden flame increased again, and the 9 golden flame phoenixes pounced on the heavenly Buddha cauldron. Under the entanglement of the 9 golden flame phoenixes, the area around the heavenly Buddha cauldron turned into a golden sea of fire. The heavenly Buddha cauldron was burned red. As Yang Xiaoshan used all his strength to activate the power of the 9 Phoenix golden flame, the golden flame power burned the sky above the mountain, where the medicine hall was located red. Above the mountain, 9 golden phoenix shadows gradually appeared. It's the 9 Phoenix golden flame. Which family master activated the power of the 9 Phoenix golden flame? The masters of the surrounding mountains were shocked. Soon, the news spread. It even alarmed the top leaders of the Heavenly Burial Academy. After all, the Heavenly Burial Academy has not had a genius student with the top 10 strange fires for many years. When Wang Qing, the dean of the Heavenly Burial Academy, learned the news, he asked his men to find out what was going on. Soon, he learned that a young boy named Yang Xiaoshan had accepted the task of the Heavenly Buddha Cauldron. This Yang Xiaoshan just joined the academy today. He passed the stone tablet test and the value was only 101. The elder of the Heavenly Burial Academy said, "Only 101. Wang Qing was stunned, then smiled and said, he should have concealed his combat power and talent. Qian Fiyu's talent test was close to 3000 back then. Even if Yang Xiaoshan is not as good as Qian Fiyu, his real talent should be 2000. He smiled and said, "Since Qian Fiyu, our Xianzang Academy has not had a pharmacist genius in the top 10 strange fire for more than 3000 years, right? Now there is finally one. This is a happy event." The academy elder nodded and smiled, but it's a pity that Yang Xiaoshan still can't melt the purple cold ice. Just as the two were talking about this, suddenly, the ground shook. It started with a slight vibration, and then the vibration became larger and stronger. Wang Qing didn't care at first, but when he saw the ground shaking more and more violently, he couldn't help but be surprised. What's going on? Wang Qing was confused. He felt that something seemed to be gushing out from deep underground. The two were shocked and hurried out of the hall. They found that not only the mountain they were on was shaking, but also the surrounding mountains. Wang Qing looked in a certain direction in front of him. He felt that the source of the vibration came from the direction of the medicine hall. It's the medicine hall. Something happened in the medicine hall. Wang Qing's face changed. He broke through the air and flew to the medicine hall in a hurry. The elder also hurried to catch up. Just as Wang Qing rushed to the medicine hall, he saw from afar that a series of amazing earth yellow flames shot up into the sky, covering the sky and the earth. From a distance, it looked like a continent suspended above the medicine hall. Wang Qing was struck by lightning, and his voice trembled. It's the flame of the earth. This is the flame of the earth. The elder was also stunned. The flame of the earth. Number 1 on the strange fire list. Who controls the flame of the earth? Suddenly, he had a flash of thought in his mind. Could it be? At this time, in the medicine hall, the flame of the earth continued to gush out from the ground under Yang Xiaoshan's feet, like the water of a surging river, and with Yang Xiaoshan's palms, it madly blasted into the heavenly Buddha cauldron. The purple cold ice gas in the heavenly Buddha cauldron was instantly blasted away. Then, the flame of the earth blasted into the depths of the heavenly Buddha cauldron with an overwhelming force. Chapter 280. I can guarantee you won't survive a day. Purple cold ice gas gushed out from the depths of the Cheyenne Foding, trying to stop the flame of the earth, but it was useless. Even the strongest and most terrifying purple cold ice gas in the deepest part of the Cheyenne Foding could not stop the flame of the earth. The power of the flame of the earth continued to blast into the deeper part of the Cheyenne Foding like a dragon. The Cheyenne Foding was shaking violently. Every time it shook violently, the Cheyenne Foding became brighter. The Cheyenne Foding, which had been eroded by purple cold ice for countless years and had become dim, was shining brighter and brighter. Outside the hall, Mu Yunshin, Hizen, Zuoqiu and others had already been stunned. Looking at the endless flame of the earth under Yangzai Ocean's feet, they had forgotten where they were. No one spoke. The flame of the earth. After a long time, a family elder trembled. The flame of the earth. Everyone was trembling. The flame of the earth? Mu Yunshin looked at Yangzai Ocean and muttered to herself. It turned out that this young boy not only had the flame of the first 100 alien fires, but also the 9 phoenix golden flame of the first 10 alien fires, and the strongest alien fire, the flame of the earth. No wonder her icy heart beat so hard when she passed by him in the mission hall. Under the power of the flame of the earth, finally, the purple cold ice in the deepest part of the heavenly Buddha cauldron completely melted. The heavenly Buddha cauldron glowed with the brilliant light of the golden Buddha. The statue of the heavenly Buddha on the body of the cauldron seemed to come alive, and the light surged. When the purple cold ice in the heavenly Buddha cauldron melted, waves of amazing pill fragrance surged from the heavenly Buddha cauldron. When everyone smelled it, their fatigue disappeared, and they felt that their whole body was washed by the purest Buddha power. This is a saint-level Buddha pill. Some pharmacist masters were excited when they smelled the pill fragrance. Suddenly, the scene was shaken by an uproar. Almost instantly, everyone showed a fiery look and stared at the heavenly Buddha cauldron greedily. Hizen was even more excited and walked forward and came directly to the front of the heavenly Buddha cauldron and then shouted to Yangzai Ocean who was blocking him, "Get out of my way." After saying that, his true energy was circulated and he was surprisingly a martial emperor of the first level. However, just when Hizen was about to make a move to make Yangzai Ocean get out of the way, suddenly, a figure fell from the sky and landed at the door of the medicine hall. Dean. Seeing the person coming, all the students present were shocked and bowed respectfully. The person who came was Wang King, who came over. Although other masters of the Heavenly Burial Academy were also coming one after another, Wang King arrived first. When Hizen saw Wang King coming, he sobered up. Although he was very unwilling in his heart, he did not dare to take action again. He could only retreat to a corner of the hall. When he left, he glared at Yangzai Ocean fiercely. Wang King walked into the hall excitedly and did not look at the heavenly Buddha cauldron, but looked at the earth flame and 9 phoenix golden flame around Yangzai Ocean. When he saw that Yangzai Ocean was just a little boy of 12 or 13 years old, Wang King was surprised and surprised. In excitement, he smiled with relief and said, "There is someone to take over the medicine of Xianzang Academy." Then he asked Yangzai Ocean with a smile on his face, "Child, your name is Zai Ocean, right? Did you just come to Xianzang Academy today?" "Yes." Yangzai Ocean nodded. Wang King smiled and said, "Welcome to Xianzang Academy to study. From now on, all your fees in Xianzang Academy will be free. You can study in Xianzang Academy for as long as you want." When everyone heard this, they all looked at Yangzai Ocean with envy. The tuition fee for a martial arts master to study in Xianzang Academy is 1 million gold per year, but once you break through the martial arts emperor realm, it will cost 100 million gold per year. 100 million gold, that is 10,000 low-grade spirit stones, 10,000 low-grade spirit stones per year. This is definitely an astonishing number. Even for many big families in the Foyan Empire, 10,000 low-grade spirit stones per year is not a small amount of money. Moreover, the cost of studying in Xianzang Academy is not just tuition. Wang King said that all fees are free. Even Hizen was jealous and envious of Yangzai Ocean. In the entire Xianzang Academy, only one person could enjoy the full exemption of fees. Even he was not eligible for the full exemption of fees. "Thank you, Dean." Yangzai Ocean clasped his fists. Wan King nodded and smiled, then took out the holy level Buddha pills in the Cheyenne Foding and gave them to Yang Zai Ocean. According to the Cheyenne Foding mission, since Yang Zai Ocean melted the purple cold ice, all the pills in the Cheyenne Foding belonged to Yang Zai Ocean. There were 7 holy level Buddha pills in the Cheyenne Foding. Wan King gave them all to Yang Zai Ocean. When he left, he said to Yang Zai Ocean, "If you encounter any problems in the future, you can come to me at any time." This was also said to everyone present. If anyone dares to snatch Yang Zai Ocean's holy level Buddha pills, they will have to think twice. After Wan King left, he then stepped forward and said to Yang Zai Ocean, "Yang Zai Ocean, you are guilty of hiding something. Giving you those 7 holy Buddha pills may not be a good thing for you. Instead, it will bring you a fatal disaster. How about you sell the 7 holy Buddha pills to me? 7 holy Buddha pills. I will give you 1 million gold." Everyone shook their heads when they heard this. The holy Buddha pills are all priceless treasures, not to mention the holy Buddha pills refined by the 1000 Buddha medicine god. He then actually wanted to buy them with 1 million gold. This is simply a disguised robbery. What if I don't sell it? Yang Zai Ocean said calmly. "Not selling it?" He then sneered. "Then I guarantee that you won't survive a day." After saying that, he turned around and left. After all, he was concerned about Wan King and didn't dare to rob openly. Just when he then was about to leave, Yang Zai Ocean suddenly said, "Did I say I would let you leave?" He then stopped and laughed. "Yang Zai Ocean, do you mean that I need your approval to leave?" Yang Zai Ocean said calmly, "Kneel down, admit your mistakes to me, count out 10 times, and I will let you leave." What? As soon as Yang Zai Ocean said this, he then and everyone else were stunned. Who is he then? He is born with the body of a demon god, with extraordinary fighting power, and he is the young master of the He family in the East Wilderness. Who dares to make him kneel down? Boy, you die. After being stunned, he then was furious. His true energy was running, and a series of demonic light and divine light were propped up, and he suddenly punched Yang Zai Ocean. When Mu Yunshin was considering whether to stop him, suddenly, Yang Zai Ocean raised his hand and clenched his fist towards He Zen. Seeing that Yang Zai Ocean was going to block He Zen's fist with his bare hands, many family masters at the scene shook their heads. He Zen was born with the body of a demon god, and his strength was comparable to that of a demon god. With one punch, he could kill a beast of the first level of the Emperor realm. Yang Zai Ocean was going to block his fist with his bare hands. Isn't this courting death? Seeing that Yang Zai Ocean was going to block his fist with his bare hands, He Zen's face was ferocious, and he increased his strength again. Wherever his right fist passed, a ball of demon god flames was raised. Bang! He Zen's right fist hit Yang Zai Ocean's palm. A dull sound was heard, but there was no scream as everyone imagined. Yang Zai Ocean stood there, like an ancient sacred mountain that could not be shaken at all, not retreating at all. Yang Zai Ocean's hand blocked the opponent's fist. He then looked at his right fist in amazement. At this moment, Yang Zai Ocean clenched his hand and held the opponent's fist and then pulled hard, and he then screamed, and his entire right arm was torn off by Yang Zai Ocean. Chapter 281. He is a godlike being. When He Zen's right arm was torn off, blood splattered all over the ground. The blood splashed on the ground, steam fluttering. Everyone was shocked. He Zen, born with the body of a demon god, had amazing strength and even more amazing defense, but his entire right arm was torn off by Yang Zai Ocean. And many people could see that Yang Zai Ocean didn't even use his true essence just now, but only used the strength of his physical body. Yang Zai Ocean's face was indifferent, and he threw He Zen's right arm off the cliff in the distance. He Zen's right arm was torn off, and he was in great pain. Seeing his right arm thrown under the cliff, he was even more murderous. He roared angrily, "Yang Zai Ocean, I will kill you." At this point, the light of the demon god on his body supported the sky, and a huge thunder dragon appeared above his head. He Zen's martial soul was an ancient thunder dragon. A huge halo appeared around the thunder dragon martial soul, and the halo was black. The thunder dragon martial soul and the black halo were filled with terrifying pressure. Level 13 martial soul. 50,000 year soul ring. Seeing He Zen's martial soul and soul ring, many powerful people at the scene changed their faces. The 13th level martial soul thunder dragon is rare, and the 50,000 year soul ring is even rarer. The black soul ring represents a soul ring of more than 10,000 years, and Hizen's black soul ring has 5 black lights, which means that Hizen's soul ring is 50,000 years old. Generally speaking, those who can condense a 10,000 year soul ring are already geniuses among geniuses, and a 50,000 year soul ring can definitely be called a monster. With the blessing of the 50,000 year soul ring, the power of Hizen's Thunder Dragon martial soul continues to rise. 10,000 year soul skill, 3,000 thunder swords. Hizen's cold and murderous voice sounded. He suddenly slashed with a sword. As he slashed with a sword, the light of the 50,000 year soul ring rose sharply, and the Thunder Dragon martial soul condensed lightning all over its body. Countless lightning turned into 3,000 thunder swords, which violently bombarded Yangzai Ocean. The surrounding masters were so scared that they all avoided it. Dang dang dang. In an instant, 3,000 amazing lightning swords hit Yangzai Ocean one by one, and the lightning exploded, and the hundreds of meters around Yangzai Ocean were all blasted into pieces. Dust rolled. The storm lasted for a long time. Seeing Hizen's attack, everyone was shocked. Even Mu Yunshin was shocked. With such a destructive attack, not to mention the fierce beasts of the first level of the Martial Emperor, even many fierce beasts of the second level of the Martial Emperor would be instantly blasted into ashes. Is he dead? Someone muttered. At this time, the lightning was like a sea, flooding the area where Yangzai Ocean was, and no one could see whether Yangzai Ocean was alive or dead. Is he really dead? Someone stuttered. Yangzai Ocean, a rare genius of medicine who controls the 9 Phoenix Golden Flame and the Flame of the Earth. Is he dead just like this? At this moment, suddenly, lightning exploded all over the sky. Yangzai Ocean's figure reappeared in front of everyone. How is this possible? Seeing that Yangzai Ocean was actually unscathed, Hizen and everyone at the scene were stunned. Suddenly, Yangzai Ocean dodged and came in front of the opponent, punching him hard. Hizen's face changed drastically, and he urged all his true energy to punch Yangzai Ocean. Thunder Dragon Fury. With the power of Hizen's fist, all the thunder and lightning power of the Thunder Dragon martial soul blasted towards Yangzai Ocean like a raging flood. Boom. Yangzai Ocean's right fist directly blasted away the flood of thunder and lightning, and punched on the opponent's fist. Hizen was hit by an ancient dragon and shot backwards. It hit the ground in the distance, kept rolling, and finally rolled down from the edge of the cliff. Hizen screamed in shock and anger. After a long time, the bottom of the cliff shook. Everyone was shocked. It was hard to say for a long time. At this time, everyone could see that Yangzai Ocean was only a peak of the 10th level of Wuzang. However, Hizen, who was at the first level of the Emperor Realm, had a 13th level Thunder Dragon martial soul and a 50,000 year soul ring, was still blown away by Yangzai Ocean's punch, after urging the power of the Thunder Dragon and the soul ring. In the crowd, Xiao Qiang from the Xiao family turned extremely pale, and kept backing away from the crowd, fearing that Yangzai Ocean would see him. Yangzai Ocean glanced at the cliff where Hizen fell with an indifferent expression, and was about to leave, when he saw Mu Yunshin twisting her slender waist and walking over. Mu Yunshin's innocent face was full of charming smiles. Junior brother Yang, hello, my name is Mu Yunshin. Senior sister Mu, is there something? Yangzai Ocean looked at the woman warily. Seeing Yangzai Ocean looking at her warily, Mu Yunshin smiled even more, and took small steps to approach. She looked at Yangzai Ocean and smiled. Junior brother Yang, I have no ill intentions. I just want to invite you to sit in my cave tonight. I have something to discuss with you. Discussing things in the cave at night. These words made everyone at the scene imagine. Mu Yunshin said this, and smiled to Yangzai Ocean. My cave is on the hillside of Teohua Peak in front of me. I'll be alone at night. Junior brother Yang, remember to come. I'll wait for you. Then she twisted her round buttocks and left. As Mu Yunshin twisted, everyone at the scene had a dry mouth and swallowed. Zuo Qiu came to Yangzai Ocean, looked at Mu Yunshin's figure, and said to Yangzai Ocean, brother, take me with you tonight. I also want to discuss things with her. Yangzai Ocean said unhappily, get lost. Then he left. Zuo Qiu followed Yangzai Ocean and smiled. Senior sister Mu has never invited anyone to her cave. Brother is the first one. Yangzai Ocean did not respond, but he was puzzled. He could see that Mu Yunshin must have something to ask him, but it was not convenient to say it in public. But what did the other party ask him for? Brother, I didn't expect you could even subdue the flame of the earth. Zuoqiu followed behind Yang Xiaoshan with a look of amazement on his face and spoke a lot, and then said, there are tens of millions of students in Xianzang Academy, but before you, only one person was exempted from all fees by the dean. Oh, there is another person? Who is it? Yang Xiaoshan asked curiously. He possessed the flame of the earth, melted the purple cold ice, and restored the heavenly Buddha cauldron, so Wang King exempted him from all the college fees. He was curious about why another person was exempted from all the college fees by Wang King. It's Wei Zhongyuan. Zuoqiu said solemnly. He is the student with the highest talent test in Xianzang Academy in the past 1,000 years. His test value is more than 5,000. More than 5,000. Yang Xiaoshan was surprised. He remembered Zuoqiu said that his senior brother Kinglian Sword God's talent test was only more than 5,000. Then, doesn't this Wei Zhongyuan have the appearance of a sword god? Surprised, right? Zuoqiu said in awe. Wei Zhongyuan has amazing talent in martial arts, especially his talent in swordsmanship. He can learn any swordsmanship after just one look. The golden elixir he condensed is one of the 10 strongest golden elixirs. It is simply a miracle of the Foyuan Empire. Oh, the 10 strongest golden elixirs. Yang Xiaoshan was also surprised. Although he's Zen is strong, he is worlds apart from Wei Zhongyuan. Zuoqiu added, Wei Zhongyuan has a very high status in the Xianzang Academy. In the hearts of millions of students in the Xianzang Academy, he is like a god. You can offend anyone, but don't offend Wei Zhongyuan. Chapter 280 To let him wait outside the library. A godlike existence? Yang Xiaoshan was surprised. Zuoqiu said in fear, yes, if he raises his arms and shouts, I'm afraid there will be hundreds of thousands of students in the Xianzang Academy who will obey his orders. Yang Xiaoshan nodded. The students of Xianzang Academy come from the Foyuan Empire and the surrounding empires. To be able to make hundreds of thousands of students in Xianzang Academy obey his orders, Wei Zhongyuan's status in Xianzang Academy is indeed very high. Zuoqiu lowered his voice and said, I heard that he has been accepted as a direct disciple by the Demon Heaven Sword God. Demon Heaven Sword God. Yang Xiaoshan was surprised. On the stone tablet at the gate of Xianzang Academy, the name of the Demon Heaven Sword God was engraved before his senior brother Kinglian Sword God, and the two names were close together. Even though Yang Xiaoshan had heard of the Demon Heaven Sword God's great reputation when he was in the Shenlong Empire before, unexpectedly, Wei Zhongyuan was favored by the Demon Heaven Sword God and accepted as a direct disciple. Although he is at the peak of Wuzong like you, he has forged a Sword God order. Then, Zuoqiu said, anyone under his command who holds the Sword God order is like him in person. Even many family heads have to be respectful when they see the Sword God order. Yang Xiaoshan frowned. He got the Tangshan Divine Sword from Tangshan Divine Lord Hangfeng, and he is the successor of Tangshan Divine Lord. He has condensed the 8 strongest sword hearts, but he dares not call himself the Sword God. This Wei Zhongyuan was just accepted as a direct disciple by the Demon Heaven Sword God, but he was so arrogant that he dared to call himself the Sword God. Afterwards, Yang Xiaoshan and the others flew to the Xianzang Book Pavilion. He wanted to check the book Xianzang Mountain left by the Xianzang Patriarch and learn more about Xianzang Mountain and the innate sword formation on Xianzang Mountain. On the way, Zuoqiu introduced to Yang Xiaoshan the intricate forces of Xianzang Academy, as well as some powerful ancestors and some geniuses with evil talents. Yang Xiaoshan had a clear understanding of the various forces of Xianzang Academy. However, just when the two came to the book pavilion of the Xianzang Academy, they saw several people flying in from a distance and stopped Yang Xiaoshan, who was about to enter the book pavilion. After the other people stopped Yang Xiaoshan, one of them took out a token. This token was nothing special, with a sword engraved on it. Seeing this token, Zuoqiu's face changed drastically. Sword God token. The man saw that Zuoqiu recognized the Sword God token and said to Yang Xiaoshan in an unquestionable tone, Yang Xiaoshan, right? Seeing the token is like seeing my son. Since you recognize the sword god token, then come with us. Our son wants to see you. Then he made a gesture of invitation. Yang Xiaoshan took a look at the sword god token and said to the visitor, I want to go to the book pavilion to read books. If he wants to see me, let him wait outside the book pavilion. When I finish reading the book, I will consider whether to see him. Wei Zhongyuan's men were stunned and couldn't believe what they heard. This Yang Xiaoshan actually asked his son to wait for him outside the book pavilion. And he didn't necessarily want to see him, he would consider it. Also, go back and tell Wei Zhongyuan that he, a martial master, dares to call himself the sword god and lets you hold a sword god order and flaunt it everywhere. He doesn't feel ashamed. I feel ashamed for him. Yang Xiaoshan said. The faces of several of Wei Zhongyuan's men changed completely. Yang Xiaoshan, you are so presumptuous. One of them was furious. In their opinion, their young master was such a person, and Yang Xiaoshan dared to let their young master wait for him outside the library. The man holding the sword god order stopped the others. He looked at Yang Xiaoshan. Yang Xiaoshan, are you sure you don't want to see our young master? Then he said, you'd better think it over. If you offend our young master, you will offend the entire Xianzang Academy. Then it will be difficult for you to stay in Xianzang Academy and continue to study. Yang Xiaoshan smiled softly. If you offend him, you will offend the entire Xianzang Academy. You said that as if he is the dean of Xianzang Academy. He didn't waste words with them anymore and walked into the library. Wei Zhongyuan's men looked at Yang Xiaoshan entering the library and their faces were all ugly. This Yang Xiaoshan, he has no shame. One of them was furious. Let's go back and report to the young master first. The one holding the sword god order said. So, several people turned around and flew back to Wei Zhongyuan's cave. So when Yang Xiaoshan entered the book pavilion to look for the book of Xianzang Mountain, several people returned to Wei Zhongyuan. Wei Zhongyuan was very surprised to see that his sword god order could not invite Yang Xiaoshan. Young master, you don't know, this Yang Xiaoshan is extremely arrogant. He said that if you want to see him, you need to wait for him outside the book pavilion. One of them said angrily. Wei Zhongyuan's face was calm. Did he really say that? He did say that. The subordinate holding the sword god order said respectfully, and he said, young master, you are a martial arts master, and you dare to call yourself a sword god, holding a sword god order, and showing off everywhere. You don't feel ashamed. He blushes for you. When Wei Zhongyuan heard this, the sword energy in his body burst out, and the stone pillars in every corner of the yard were instantly cut into countless pieces. Young master, should we capture him and bring him to you? One of them whispered. Wei Zhongyuan sneered. Do you think I, Wei Zhongyuan, need to use such means to meet someone? Several people trembled and nodded, not daring to say anything more. Earth flame. Wei Zhongyuan said coldly, he thinks that he can be on equal footing with me because he has the earth flame. A frog in the well. After Yang Xiaoshan entered the book pavilion, he walked to the top floor of the book pavilion. Zuoqiu followed behind Yang Xiaoshan and smiled bitterly. He really didn't expect Yang Xiaoshan to dare to refuse Wei Zhongyuan. However, he couldn't enter the top floor of the Sky Burial Book Pavilion, so he could only wait for Yang Xiaoshan on the first floor, and told Yang Xiaoshan to be careful of those book spirits and not to force his way in if he couldn't get in. Originally, the Sky Burial Book Pavilion had to charge fees from the second floor onwards, but Yang Xiaoshan waived all fees, so after stating his identity, he came to the top floor of the book pavilion. After entering the top floor of the book pavilion, he walked to the deepest part of the book pavilion. On the way, he encountered many powerful book spirits blocking him. Yang Xiaoshan did not summon the two beast gods, but just let Dingyue protect him, and let those book spirits bombard him. After he arrived at the deepest part of the book pavilion without any danger, he found the book Sky Burial Mountain. Just as Yang Xiaoshan was carefully flipping through the book of Sky Burial Mountain, the news that Yang Xiaoshan possessed the flame of the earth and the 9 phoenix golden flame quickly spread in the Sky Burial Academy. Even the fact that Yang Xiaoshan rejected Wei Zhongyuan's invitation was spread. For a time, Yang Xiaoshan became the topic of conversation among tens of millions of students in the Sky Burial Academy. Since only Yang Xiaoshan and Wei Zhongyuan can be admitted to the Sky Burial Academy for free, many people compare the two. Yang Xiaoshan was unaware of the heated discussion outside, as he was immersed in the book world of the book pavilion. When Yang Xiaoshan came out of the book pavilion, it was already several days later. This time, he entered the book pavilion and gained a lot. In the book Xianzang Mountain, Xianzang Patriarch once described a passage like this. Once the 9 heavens divine thunder bombarded wildly, the Xianshan sword formation on the top of Xianzang Mountain had a brief pause. When countless Xianshan sword ki dissipated, the shadow of the ancient cave appeared. If he guessed correctly, the ancient cave was Kangshen Cave. Kangshen Cave was at the deepest part of the Xianshan sword formation of Xianzang Mountain. Chapter 283 Climbing to Sword God Peak. Moreover, from the book Heavenly Burial Mountain, he learned that there must be more than one innate sword spirit in that innate sword formation, and the great should not be low. More than one. Yang Xiaoshan was delighted. If so, then he has a chance to condense the 9th sword heart. There are hundreds of empires in the Kangshen continent, and there are many sword geniuses who have condensed sword hearts. Some can even condense the 7th and 8th sword hearts. However, sword geniuses who can condense the 9th sword heart are extremely rare. Some people say that, as long as you can condense 9 sword hearts, you will have the hope of becoming a sword god in the future. Although there is no absolute, it can also be seen that the 9th sword heart is important. The 9th sword heart is an extremely important watershed. Now, he is just waiting to climb the Heavenly Burial Mountain on the 1st of next month. It can be said that everything is ready, only the east wind is missing. Zuoqiu, who was guarding outside the library, saw Yang Xiaoshan coming out and hurriedly came up to him, smiling bitterly. "My uncle, you finally came out. You don't know how many times Senior Sister Mu has come to see you these days." Yang Xiaoshan then remembered that Mu Yunshan had said before that she would discuss things with him in the evening. In the past few days, when he entered the library, in addition to reading the book of Xianzang Mountain, he also read many rare ancient books in the library, so he forgot the time. Zuoqiu smiled and said, "Brother, since you are out, how about we go over to discuss things with her in the evening?" Yang Xiaoshan smiled and said, "I won't go, you can go." Zuoqiu swallowed and said, "Even if I have 5 legs, I dare not go." In the past, there was a student who sneaked to Senior Sister Mu's Peach Blossom Peak at night, and his 3 legs were snapped off by Senior Sister Mu. So I'd better forget it. I still want to walk on 3 legs. Yang Xiaoshan was stunned, and then smiled. In the past few days, since you entered the library, there has been a lot of noise in the Xianzang Academy. Many people are talking about your rejection of Wei Zhongyuan, and many people even compare you with Wei Zhongyuan. Zuoqiu said, and he then even had someone deliberately spread rumors, saying that you deliberately concealed your combat power during the Stone Tablet talent test. They said your real talent is 6,000. They said your talent is higher than Wei Zhongyuan's. He is deliberately trying to draw hatred for you, making Wei Zhongyuan and his men hate you even more. Spread rumors? Not really. Yang Xiaoshan looked calm. How is he zen now? His right arm has been reattached, but it's not as good as before. Zuoqiu said, "I heard that the He family of Dongliang has sent many experts here. They have already come from Dongliang, and may arrive by the end of the month." At this point, he advised Yang Xiaoshan, "Now there are more people in Xianzang Academy who are thinking about your saint level Buddha pill. Brother, why don't you leave the academy and hide outside?" Yang Xiaoshan shook his head and said, "I have to climb Xianzang Mountain next month." Although Zuoqiu and Yang Xiaoshan had not been in contact for a long time, he knew Yang Xiaoshan's temper, and did not persuade him again. He remembered something and said, "Also, the little Medicine King came to see you yesterday." "Little Medicine King?" Yang Xiaoshan asked. "Yes, the young Medicine King Li Yushan. He is the grandson of the chief pharmacist of our Foyuan Empire. His talent in refining medicine can be said to be the best among the younger generation of our Foyuan Empire." Zuoqiu said, "Besides him, there are Long Batian, Shi Huang, and Feng Nu. Long Batian, Shi Huang, and Feng Nu are all the leaders of the younger generation of Xianzang Academy. In terms of martial arts talent, they are even better than Li Zhen. Moreover, the 3 of them have prominent identities, and come from major superpowers in the Foyuan Empire. Long Batian is from the Long family in Zhangzhou. Shi Huang is also from the Shi family in Zhangzhou. And Feng Nu is from the Phoenix clan. The Phoenix clan has been passed down since ancient times and has a strong bloodline. Feng Nu is the daughter of the patriarch of the Phoenix clan. Whether it is the Long family, the Shi family, or the Phoenix clan, they are all the most powerful superpowers in the Foyan Empire. Zuoqiu had told Yang Xiaoshan about these 3 people before. Yang Xiaoshan was puzzled. What did these 4 people come to find him for? The 4 people came together. It must be something important. Did they say what it was? Yang Xiaoshan asked. They didn't say anything, but they said they have something important to discuss with you. When you come out, you can go to Yaowang Peak to find them. Zuoqiu shook his head. At this point, he came up and said with a smile, "Brother, Jiafeng has recently released a good wine. It's rare for you to come out. Let's go to Jiafeng to have a look." Jiafeng is the place where Xianzang Academy produces wine. There are all kinds of fine wines. It is also the place where tens of millions of students of Xianzang Academy go most after training. Yang Xiaoshan saw Zuoqiu's greedy look and smiled. "Then let's go." Just as Yang Xiaoshan and the others were heading to Jiafeng, in the main hall of Yaowang Peak, the 4 people, Little Medicine King Li Yushan, Long Batian, Shi Huang, and Feng Nu, were gathered together to talk about Yang Xiaoshan. "Do you think Yang Xiaoshan will agree to go to the evil land with us?" Feng Nu said. Long Boang said loudly, "The treasure of the 1000 Buddha medicine god. He can't help but be tempted. What's more, there is a high probability that there is 1000 Buddha divine fire in the treasure of the 1000 Buddha medicine god. 1000 Buddha divine fire, one of the 10 great divine fires. If Yang Xiaoshan really helps us open the treasure of the 1000 Buddha medicine god, should we share the treasures and the treasure with him?" Shi Huang frowned. He naturally didn't want to share the treasure of the 1000 Buddha medicine god with one more person. Little Medicine King Li Yushan sneered. "When he opens the treasure of the 1000 Buddha medicine god, he will naturally have no use value. Then, we will just kill him. And we will share the 7 holy Buddha pills on him. Then, we will kill 2 birds with 1 stone." At this time, 4 men came to report that Yang Xiaoshan had left the book pavilion and went to the wine peak. When the 4 heard it, they immediately got up and went to the wine peak. At this time, Yang Xiaoshan came to the wine peak. "I saw hundreds of waterfalls of wine hanging on the wine peak. Hundreds of waterfalls of wine flowed endlessly between the peaks. Even if they were far apart, they could smell the charming aroma of wine. Looking at the hundreds of waterfalls of wine from a distance, Zuoqiu couldn't help swallowing his saliva. However, just as the 2 fell to the wine peak, they saw a large group of masters flying towards them in the distance. This group of masters, I'm afraid there are as many as 60,000 or 70,000. Seeing the person coming, Zuoqiu's face changed drastically. It's Chensha, the young leader of the Black Wind sect. Chensha is one of Wei Zhongyuan's many followers. Although the Black Wind sect is not as good as the He family and the Long family, it is also one of the superpowers in the Foyan Empire. Chensha is a cruel person. The disciples of the major families who died in his hands, if not tens of thousands, there are at least thousands. Soon, Chensha led the masters to arrive. Behind him, 60,000 to 70,000 masters spread out, with overwhelming momentum, all staring at Yang Xiaoshan and the others with murderous eyes. Yang Xiaoshan, right? Chensha's eyes fell on Yang Xiaoshan, his eyes full of Black Devil's aura. "What qualifications do you have to let our young master wait for you outside the library? Also, what qualifications do you have to be compared with our young master? In my eyes, you are not even worthy of carrying shoes for our young master. If you climb from here to the Sword God Peak now, forget about the previous things, otherwise, I will crush your bones piece by piece now." Sword God Peak is where Wei Zhongyuan lives. It was hundreds of miles away from Jiafeng Mountain. If Yang Xiaoshan climbed over there, who knew when he would be able to reach it? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 284 Half Move. Climb to Jianshan Peak. Zuoqiu's face changed when he heard Chen Sha wanted Yang Xiaoshan to climb to Jianshan Peak from here. If Yang Xiaoshan really climbed to Jianshan Peak from here, he would become the laughingstock of Xianzhang Academy and even the entire Foyuan Empire, and Yang Xiaoshan's martial arts heart might be ruined. This is even more cruel than killing Yang Xiaoshan. After Chen Sha finished speaking, a wild smile appeared on his face. What do you think? Do you want to climb now, or let me crush your bones piece by piece? However, just as he finished speaking, suddenly, a figure flashed, and Yang Xiaoshan came in front of him, punching Chen Sha in the belly with sheer power. After several months, the familiar dong sound resounded through the world again. The sound was like thunder. It shocked everyone's eardrums. Chen Sha was blown away like a meteor. But this is not over yet. Yang Xiaoshan chased after him like the wind and punched him again. Dong. Still the belly. Still sheer power. Chen Sha continued to fly backwards like a meteor, and Yang Xiaoshan continued to chase him. The third punch. The fourth punch. The fifth punch. Every punch to the belly. Every punch with sheer power. Chen Sha couldn't tell whether his father was male or female, and he burst into tears again and again, and he screamed like a pig being slaughtered. After Yang Xiaoshan's several punches, Chen Sha was finally smashed onto the mountain wall in front. However, this was not over yet. Yang Xiaoshan punched him again, directly on the head, and blasted him into the mountain wall. The rumbling sound continued. Rocks rolled down from the mountain peaks. Everyone was stunned. No one expected Yang Xiaoshan to suddenly attack, and no one expected that Chen Sha, who was in the third level of the Imperial Realm, would be beaten like a pig by Yang Xiaoshan, and he had no power to fight back. Who is Chen Sha? That's the young leader of the Black Wind sect. He is not an ordinary third level of the Imperial Realm. He has a strong talent and strong combat power. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Zuoqiu was so shocked by the scene in front of him that he was spitting out saliva. Who would have thought that Chen Sha, who was cruel and feared by everyone, would be beaten to death one day? He could only use so to express the excitement and shock in his heart. What shocked him even more was that Yang Xiaoshan was at the peak of Wuzang. At the level of Wuzang, challenging a third level Wuhuang was already shocking, not to mention beating up a third level Wuhuang. In shock, Wei Zhongyuan's men reacted one after another, and could not help but get angry. However, when everyone was about to attack Yang Xiaoshan, suddenly, a deep voice shouted, "Stop!" Wei Zhongyuan's men were shocked, and their minds were buzzing. Obviously, the other party used the sound system magic. Everyone looked in shock, and saw the little medicine king Li Yushan, Long Batian, Shi Huang, and Feng Nu flying from a distance. It was Long Batian who spoke just now. Seeing that it was Little Medicine King, Long Batian and the other four, the faces of Wei Zhongyuan's men changed. Even if Wei Zhongyuan was there in person, he would not dare to ignore Little Medicine King, Long Batian and the other four. After all, behind the four of them, there was a huge monster. Arriving at the scene, Long Batian glanced at everyone and said, "Young Master Yang is our four friends. You can go." Wei Zhongyuan's men looked grim. "Young Master Long Yang Xiaoshan is the person our young master wants." One of them stepped forward and said boldly. Long Batian glanced at the other party and said, "I said, Young Master Yang is our four friends. You can go. I don't want to say it for the third time." At this point, Long Batian's aura surged, and blood dragons appeared behind him. Wei Zhongyuan's men looked at Long Batian and the other four, and finally had to retreat. When they retreated, they dug Chen Sha out of the belly of the mountain with great difficulty, and took Chen Sha away. However, when everyone saw Chen Sha's twitching miserably, their hands trembled. Even the little medicine king Li Yushan, Long Batian and the other four changed their expressions. It was obvious that they had not expected Yang Xiaoshan to be so powerful. After Wei Zhongyuan and his men left, Li Yushan, Long Batian and the other four flew towards Yang Xiaoshan. "Young Master Yang, I'm Li Yushan." Li Yushan smiled at Yang Xiaoshan in a friendly manner. Young Master Yang's combat power is unparalleled, which is amazing. Then, Long Batian, Shi Huang and Feng Nu also greeted Yang Xiaoshan in a friendly manner. "We came here because we have something important to discuss with young Master Yang." Li Yushan smiled, and then glanced at Zuoqiu, meaning that Zuoqiu should step back. Zuoqiu wisely entered the wine peak first. After Zuoqiu left, Li Yushan said, "The reason we came to find young Master Yang this time is actually related to the 1000 Buddha Medicine God treasure." 1000 Buddha Medicine God treasure. Yang Xiaoshan was surprised. Although he expected that Li Yushan, Long Batian and the other four came to find him for something important, he did not expect that it was related to the 1000 Buddha Medicine God treasure. "The four of us have discovered the treasure of the 1000 Buddha Medicine God," Feng Nu said, "but the door to the 1000 Buddha Medicine God's treasure is made of black ice, and we can't open it at all. Even ordinary strange fire can't melt this black ice." She stopped talking. After hearing what the other party said, Yang Xiaoshan already understood why the four people wanted to find him. They wanted to use his earth flame to open the door to the 1000 Buddha Medicine God's treasure. Long Batian smiled and said, "Don't worry, Mr. Yang, if you help us open the door to the 1000 Buddha Medicine God's treasure, the treasure inside will be divided equally among the 5 of us, and we suspect that the treasure contains the 1000 Buddha Medicine God's 1000 Buddha fire." 1000 Buddha fire. Yang Xiaoshan's eyes lit up. The 1000 Buddha fire is one of the 10 great fires, and its power is unparalleled. If he can subdue the 1000 Buddha fire, then he will have 2 great fires. Then, we can give the 1000 Buddha fire to you. Long Batian smiled. He knew that Yang Xiaoshan was tempted. In fact, the power of the divine fire was terrifying. They couldn't subdue it, even if they wanted to. It would be better to be generous and give the 1000 Buddha's divine fire to Yang Xiaoshan. Of course, they didn't think Yang Xiaoshan could subdue the 1000 Buddha's divine fire. In the martial arts world, no one could subdue the divine fire. "Okay." Yang Xiaoshan asked, "Where is the treasure? When will we set off?" "In the evil land." Shi Huang said, "We plan to set off tomorrow." Yang Xiaoshan hesitated for a moment and nodded in agreement. Now there are still 20 days before climbing the Sky Burial Mountain on the 1st of next month. There is still time to go to the evil land and come back. Just when Yang Xiaoshan and Li Yushan and the other 4 agreed to go to the evil land tomorrow, Wei Zhongyuan's men carried Chen Xia back to the Sword God Peak. Wei Zhongyuan looked at Chen Xia, who was blown beyond recognition, with a gloomy face. Did Yang Xiaoshan do it? He didn't expect Yang Xiaoshan's strength to be stronger than he thought, and even Chen Xia was no match for him. It was Yang Xiaoshan. One of them lowered his head and answered. "How many moves did they fight?" Wei Zhongyuan asked. "Half a move," the man just said tremblingly. Wei Zhongyuan spit out the tea in his mouth. "What did you say?" The subordinate trembled and recounted the details of what happened. The more Wei Zhongyuan listened, the more shocked he became, and the uglier his face became. Chapter 285. You open your eyes and see clearly. Chen Xia, who was at the 3rd level of the martial emperor, couldn't even take a single move from Yang Xiaoshan. He was beaten up all the time. No wonder that subordinate said it was only half a move. Wei Zhongyuan's face changed from cloudy to bright. If that was the case, then Yang Xiaoshan's fighting power was probably not weaker than his. Wei Zhongyuan felt very uncomfortable when he thought that Yang Xiaoshan, who had just arrived, was not weaker than him in fighting power. He was known as the number 1 of the younger generation of the Xianzang Academy. If Yang Xiaoshan's fighting power was not weaker than his, what was that? 2 firsts. Thinking of 2 firsts, he felt a prick in his heart. He had condensed the 10 best golden elixirs, and the stone tablet talent test was more than 5,000. He was the student with the highest talent test in the Xianzang Academy in the past 1000 years. He was also the direct disciple of the Demon Heaven Sword God. What qualifications did Yang Xiaoshan have to be tied for first place with him? Sure enough, after the news of Yang Xiaoshan's beating of Chen Xia spread, the students of the Xianzang Academy were shocked again, and talked about it. Yang Xiaoshan's fighting power is too terrifying. He is at the peak of Wuzang, and he beat Chen Xia, who is at the 3rd level of Wuhuang, without any chance to fight back. I heard that Chen Xia was hit by 7 or 8 punches in the blink of an eye, and even his poop flew out. No way. Absolutely true. At that time, tens of thousands of Wei Zhongyuan's men were watching, but Yang Xiaoshan's attack was too fast and no one reacted. Isn't Yang Xiaoshan's fighting power really not weaker than Wei Zhongyuan? Who is stronger, Yang Xiaoshan or Wei Zhongyuan? If you ask me, Yang Xiaoshen's talent may really be 6000, and his fighting power is probably stronger than Wei Zhongyuan. For a while, the students of Xianzang Academy were talking about it. Although Wei Zhongyuan was a genius, and was known as the first person of the younger generation of Xianzang Academy, he had a very high reputation, but there were more people who were jealous of him. When these people talked about it, they inevitably added fuel to the fire and deliberately belittled Wei Zhongyuan to the point that he was not even worth dog shit. Deliberately saying that Yang Xiaoshen's talent was 1000 higher than Wei Zhongyuan's. Deliberately saying that Wei Zhongyuan is not Yang Xiaoshen's opponent. When Wei Zhongyuan heard the news, his face turned purple. Damn it, these people are deliberately spreading rumors. I will go and pull these people out and slap them in the mouth. Liang Lin, Wei Zhongyuan's subordinate, was furious. Liang Lin is the son of the commander of the Foyuan Empire. Wait. Wei Zhongyuan shouted, how many people can you slap? Can you shut up everyone's mouth? At this point, his eyes were cold. Didn't they say that Yang Xiaoshen's talent is higher than mine? Then I will let them open their eyes and see clearly who has a higher talent. Wei Zhongyuan's subordinates looked at each other. Liang Lin vaguely guessed what their young master was going to do. Wei Zhongyuan asked, is Yang Xiaoshen still in Jiefeng? Still in Jiefeng. After a moment, Wei Zhongyuan broke through the air, and a group of his subordinates followed behind him, and came to Jiefeng in a mighty manner. Seeing Wei Zhongyuan's departure, all the students of Xianzang Academy rushed to Jiefeng. Soon, Wei Zhongyuan led the crowd to Jiefeng, and found Yang Xiaoshen. Wei Zhongyuan was wearing a dark blue robe. He stood in front of Yang Xiaoshen, his robe fluttering in the wind. Yang Xiaoshen, right? The students of Xianzang Academy said that you concealed your combat power in the talent test, and that your talent is 6000. Do you dare to compete with me in the talent test again? Not interested. Yang Xiaoshen said without thinking, and then continued to drink. If he had this spare time, he might as well practice. Wei Zhongyuan did not expect Yang Xiaoshen to refuse so straightforwardly. He clenched his fists. This was the second time Yang Xiaoshen refused him. The first time was when his men came to him with the Sword God order, and Yang Xiaoshen refused the Sword God order. This time he came to him in person, and was directly rejected. It was the first time that Wei Zhongyuan was rejected in person. He stopped the furious men behind him, and stared at Yang Xiaoshen coldly. Yang Xiaoshen, don't you dare. Don't dare. Yang Xiaoshen glanced at Wei Zhongyuan and said calmly, I'm just not interested. Liang Lin couldn't help but said angrily, Yang Xiaoshen, do you think our young master is interested in competing with you? Now someone in Xianzang Academy spreads rumors that your talent is higher than our young master. I think you deliberately let people spread the rumor. Why, now you feel guilty. Wei Zhongyuan stared at Yang Xiaoshen. If my talent is lower than yours, I will give you 7 holy level pills. If your talent is lower than mine, you hand over the 7 holy level Buddha pills in the Xian Foding. Obviously, Wei Zhongyuan was also thinking about the 7 holy level Buddha pills on Yang Xiaoshen. 7 holy level pills. Yang Xiaoshen put down his wine glass. If they get 7 more holy level pills, Lao Meng and Lao Bing will be able to increase their strength greatly, and they may soon be able to break through the 2nd level of the divine spirit. Yes, 7 holy level pills. Wei Zhongyuan's hand flashed, and 7 holy level pills appeared. 7 holy level pills appeared, and the fragrance of the pills filled the air, covering the smell of wine on Jiefeng. It seems that Wei Zhongyuan has also had a great adventure, otherwise it would be impossible to have so many holy level pills. Yang Xiaoshen stood up, and stretched his body. Since there were 7 holy level pills to earn, it would be a waste not to earn them. So, Yang Xiaoshen and Wei Zhongyuan flew to the talent detection stele. As the news spread, all the students of Xianzang Academy went crazy, and rushed to the detection stele from all directions. Before Yang Xiaoshen and Wei Zhongyuan arrived, there were already crowds of people around the stele. Mu Yunshin learned the news, and rushed over from Teohua Peak, fearing that she would miss the wonderful scene. Recently, it was said that Yang Xiaoshen's talent was 6000 in Xianzang Academy, and she was also curious whether Yang Xiaoshen's talent was 6000. When Zhao Yao Wang, Long Batian and the other 4 heard that Yang Xiaoshen and Wei Zhongyuan were going to compete in the talent test, they also rushed over. Yang Xiaoshen's talent is not really 6,000, right? Feng Nu said. Hearing this, Long Batian shook his head and smiled. It's just a rumor that he's deliberately spread. You don't really believe that Yang Xiaoshen's talent is 6,000, right? To tell you the truth, Wei Zhangyuan's real talent is much higher than what was tested that year. Little Medicine King, Feng Nu and the other two were surprised. You mean, when Wei Zhangyuan tested his talent that year, he also concealed his combat power? His real talent is far more than 5,132. Back then, Wei Zhangyuan's talent test was 5,132, which was shocking. If his real talent is far more than that, how terrifying it would be. Then Yang Xiaoshen is doomed to lose? Feng Nu said. Long Batian didn't speak, which was considered as tacit agreement. Just when Little Medicine King, Long Batian and the other four came to the stone tablet, Yang Xiaoshen, Wei Zhangyuan and Wei Zhangyuan's men also came to the stone tablet. Everyone automatically made way. Yang Xiaoshen and Wei Zhangyuan walked to the stone tablet. Yang Xiaoshen, who should go first, you or me? Wei Zhangyuan asked. You go first. Yang Xiaoshen stepped aside. Wei Zhangyuan took another step closer to the stone tablet and said calmly, Yang Xiaoshen, do you really think that the talent I tested back then is my real talent? As soon as Wei Zhangyuan said this, everyone at the scene was shocked. Today, I will show you how terrifying my real talent is. After Wei Zhangyuan finished speaking, his true energy circulated throughout his body, and a powerful aura swept across the world. Open your eyes and see clearly. Chapter 286 The Miracle of the Foyuan Empire. As soon as Wei Zhangyuan finished speaking, sword ki appeared all over his body. These sword ki were actually colorful. The colorful sword ki gathered around Wei Zhangyuan's body like a peacock spreading its tail. When the sword ki appeared, the extremely sharp power of the sword ki made everyone retreat in shock. What kind of sword body is this? So powerful. Everyone was shocked. Even the Little Medicine King Li Yushan and Long Batian were shocked and could not recognize what kind of sword body Wei Zhangyuan had. It's the Mingwang unmovable sword body. Feng Nu saw Wei Zhangyuan's colorful sword ki, but her face changed drastically and she shouted in surprise. As soon as Feng Nu said this, some family elders who had heard of some legends all changed their faces. Mingwang unmovable sword body? What kind of innate sword body is this? Is it very powerful? A family disciple who had never heard of the Mingwang unmovable sword body asked in confusion. It's more than powerful. A family elder said solemnly. It's terrifying. It's a sword body that was cultivated after birth, a sword body from the Peacock clan. This sword body is the strongest sword body of the Peacock clan. The attack is terrifying, and the defense is invincible. The Peacock clan. Many strong men's faces changed drastically. There is an ancient legend in the Foyuan Empire that the founder of the Foyuan Empire is the ancestor of the Peacock clan. The ancestor of the Peacock clan is also known as the Buddha mother of the Foyuan Empire. The Peacock clan is the most powerful clan in the Foyuan Empire, without a doubt. No one expected that Wei Zhangyuan could even cultivate the strongest sword body of the Peacock clan. Wei Zhangyuan has even cultivated the strongest sword body of the Peacock clan. So what is his real combat power? A family disciple said in shock. It won't be more than 6,000, right? 6,000. Everyone was shocked. The Xianzang Academy has been established for countless years. There have been invincible saint kings, sword gods, and sword masters, but no one's talent has ever exceeded 6,000. 6,000 is an insurmountable chasm. If Wei Zhangyuan's true talent can exceed 6,000, it will definitely be amazing. Under the gaze of everyone, Wei Zhangyuan looked up to the sky and roared, and the roar resounded through the surrounding mountains. Suddenly, he made a move. As soon as he made a move, the sword energy of the Mingwang Budong behind him burst into a dazzling light, and the sword energy seemed to pierce the sky. In an instant, all the sword energies hit the stone tablet. When the sword energy of the Mingwang Budong hit the stone tablet made a loud buzzing sound, and the entire stone tablet burst out with an extremely strong light. Everyone was actually pierced by the strong light bursting out of the stone tablet. Everyone was shocked. This is a phenomenon that has never happened before. The Xianzang Academy has been established for countless years, and no one has made the talent stone tablet burst out such a terrifying light. A dazzling light rose from the bottom of the stone tablet, and the speed was so fast that it was shocking. Almost in a breath, it rushed to 1000. Seeing that the light rose so fast, everyone was nervous. Then, in the blink of an eye, it broke through to 2000. Then, it rushed to 3000 at an astonishing speed. Seeing Wei Zhangyuan's talent light rush to 3000 in a few breaths, everyone took a breath of cold air. Such a soaring speed is simply unprecedented. Under the gaze of everyone, Wei Zhangyuan's talent light continued to soar and broke through 4000. When it broke through 4000, the light of the stone tablet rose sharply. I'm afraid it will really break through 6000. Many people were shocked to see Wei Zhangyuan's talent light rising so fast. It's not just afraid, but it will definitely break through. Feng Nu said very confidently. A family elder also said, for countless years, only one person in the Peacock clan can cultivate into the Mingwang immovable sword body. Wei Zhangyuan can cultivate successfully. His talent is terrifying, and can definitely break through 6000. Many people held their breath, staring at the stone tablet without blinking. If Wei Zhangyuan's talent breaks through 6000, it will definitely be a miracle of the Foyuan Empire. They will be the ones who witness the birth of the miracle. There is no suspense. Wei Zhangyuan's talent light rushed to 5132. This was the value when Wei Zhangyuan was tested that year. However, after the talent light broke through 5130 to this time, it continued to soar upwards. Seeing that Wei Zhangyuan's talent really surpassed that of the year, everyone was shocked. Soon, Wei Zhangyuan's talent light broke through 5200. Then, 5300. 700. Seeing that Wei Zhangyuan's talent was gradually approaching 6000, everyone was watching the changes in the stone tablet nervously. Li Yushan, Long Batian, and Shi Huang were all shocked to see that Wei Zhangyuan's talent had broken through to 700. Because no one in the Xianzang Academy had ever been able to reach 700 in talent testing. This was not the highest in the Xianzang Academy in the past 1000 years, but the highest in the history of the Xianzang Academy. 800. When Wei Zhangyuan's talent broke through 800, everyone was boiling. The talent light was still rising. 900. When Wei Zhangyuan's talent broke through 900, many people shouted excitedly, 100 more. Only 100 more, to break through to 6000. Everyone was even more nervous and tensed up. Many people even clenched their fists until their joints turned white without realizing it. Even Li Yushan and Feng Nu were so nervous that their palms were sweating. However, after breaking through to 5900, the speed of the light began to slow down, and it became slower and slower. Seeing the light rising slower and slower, Liang Lin and others even began to pray. 5990. 5991. When the light broke through 6000, the entire stone tablet was shining brightly, and the surrounding mountains were all illuminated with light. At this moment, everyone was boiling. 6000. Miracle. The miracle of my Foyuan Empire. Some people even cried with excitement. For countless years, there has been discussion about the Xianzang Academy's talent stone tablet. Many ancestors have determined that no one's talent can break through 6000. This is like a curse. For countless years, no one has been able to break through 6000. Even Ji Wudi, Jian Changkong, Sun and Moon Saint King, Demon Heaven Sword God, King Lian Sword God and other invincible people have never been able to break through 6000. But now, Wei Zhangyuan has broken this curse and reached 6000. How could this not excite everyone? At this moment, Wang King was studying the Heavenly Buddha Cauldron in the main hall of the Heavenly Burial Academy when he saw the elder of the Heavenly Burial Academy running in and shouting excitedly, Dean, Wei Zhangyuan. Wei Zhangyuan has reached 6000. His talent test shows that he has reached 6000. Wang King was stunned for a moment, and his hands trembled with excitement. What did you say just now? 6000? It's 6000? It's 6000. The elder of the Heavenly Burial Academy shouted excitedly. Absolutely true. Wang King burst into tears. This is God bless my Buddha Empire. Then he rushed out of the hall and rushed towards the stone tablet. Chapter 287. Eternal Invincibility. Just as Wang King rushed towards the stone tablet, the scene at the stone tablet was still boiling. It was boiling for a long time. Everyone was excited for a long time, unable to suppress their excitement. Wei Zhangyuan and his men looked at Wei Zhangyuan with a kind of worship and fanaticism. It was like looking at a god who would be extremely powerful in the future. Everyone was boiling, everyone was excited, but Wei Zhangyuan had a calm face. He turned around and looked at Yang Xiaoshan, as if a god was looking at a tiny mortal. Yang Xiaoshan, my talent is 6,000. It's not too late for you to admit your mistake now. Although Wei Zhangyuan's talent broke 6,000, it just stopped at 6,000. Admit your mistake? Yang Xiaoshan looked at Wei Zhangyuan, who was full of confidence, and looked down at him, and smiled indifferently. Why should I admit my mistake? Then he said, it's just 6,000. I can break 6,000 with a casual strike. What? Break 6,000 with a casual strike? Everyone at the scene was stunned. Then, Liang Lin laughed loudly. Yang Xiaoshan, why didn't you say that you could break 7,000 with a casual attack? All of Wei Zhangyuan's men laughed. Maybe he can really break 7,000 with a casual attack. Everyone laughed. Even the little medicine king Li Yushan and Long Batian shook their heads and laughed. They thought Yang Xiaoshan was ridiculous. You know, just now Wei Zhangyuan had to use all his strength to break 6,000, which was a miracle for all ages, and Yang Xiaoshan actually said that he could break 6,000 with a casual attack. Isn't this ridiculous? Wei Zhangyuan smiled when he heard it and looked at Yang Xiaoshan like a clown. Okay, then I'll wait for you to break 6,000 with a casual attack. Let us open our eyes. Then he stepped aside and made a gesture, indicating that Yang Xiaoshan should come. Yang Xiaoshan walked to the stone tablet. Everyone was looking at Yang Xiaoshan, including Zhuo Qiyu and Mu Yunshan. Yang Xiaoshan came to the front and back of the stone tablet. Without the sword energy in his body, he raised his hand and punched the stone tablet. It was a very casual punch. There was no momentum at all. There was no earth-shattering power. However, when this punch hit the stone tablet, suddenly, the stone tablet made a loud bang sound, and the whole stone tablet seemed to explode, and even the ground around the stone tablet was shaking. Everyone was stunned. Even when Wei Zhangyuan used the Mingwang unmoving sword body and hit it with all his strength, the stone tablet only made a loud buzzing sound and did not explode. The surrounding ground did not shake like this. Even Long Batian and others were shocked. Just when everyone was surprised, suddenly, a bright golden light rushed up from the bottom of the stone tablet. Golden light? How can there be a golden light? Seeing that Yang Xiaoshan's innate light was actually golden, everyone was shocked. Because no one's innate light has ever been golden. Even Wei Zhangyuan's innate light just now was not golden. It was the first time for everyone to see a golden light on a stone tablet. Even Wei Zhangyuan was surprised and puzzled when he saw Yang Xiaoshan's golden talent light. When everyone was surprised, the golden light quickly rushed to 1,000, and then, in a breath, it broke through to 2,000. The speed was so fast that it was simply terrifying. 3,000. When everyone reacted, they saw that Yang Xiaoshan's golden light had already broken through 3,000. Liang Lin and others who had just laughed all stopped laughing. The world became quiet. But, when Yang Xiaoshan's golden light broke through 4,000, the light of the stone tablet surged, illuminating the surrounding mountains with golden light, and everyone seemed to be covered with a layer of gold. The surrounding ground was shaking more and more violently. The confidence and smile on Wei Zhangyuan's face had completely disappeared. In Wei Zhangyuan's gloomy face, soon, the golden light broke through 5,000, and the golden light of the stone tablet gushed out like a spring, and the entire stone tablet shook. The surrounding ground was like a magnitude 12 earthquake. 5,000. Seeing that Yang Xiaoshan's golden talent light broke through 5,000 in a few breaths, everyone was shocked. Is it really going to break through 6,000? An elder of the family trembled. Yang Xiaoshan just said that he could break through 6,000 with a casual strike. Everyone's heart trembled when they thought of what Yang Xiaoshan said just now. Wei Zhangyuan used the Mingwang unmoving sword body to strike with all his strength and only just broke through 6,000, which was already an eternal miracle. If Yang Xiaoshan could break through 6,000 with a casual strike, what would that be? Soon, the golden light rushed to 5,900. It kept approaching 6,000. Everyone forgot to breathe. Boom. When Yangzai Ocean's golden light broke through 6,000, the stone tablet actually sounded like a 9-day thunder. The golden light sprayed out from the stone tablet like a golden sea, spraying the surrounding mountains and peaks with gold. At this moment, everything around turned golden. The earth was like a magnitude 15 earthquake, shaking the sand and stones on the ground. 6,000. Everyone's face was full of shock, full of wonder, and full of disbelief. A casual strike could really break through 6,000? Wei Zhangyuan's face was extremely ugly, and his hands were shaking. Little Medicine King, Long Batian, and Feng Nu were also extremely shocked. As geniuses second only to Wei Zhangyuan, they certainly understood what 6,000 meant. The key was that Yangzai Ocean's golden talent light had not stopped, and was still rising. 6,100. Someone said in a trembling voice. 6,200. 6,300. Seeing Yangzai Ocean's golden talent light rushing towards 7,000 step by step, everyone was extremely shocked. Will it break through 7,000? Someone murmured. 7,000. Everyone's heart trembled. 6,700. 6,800. As if to confirm everyone's guess, the golden light continued to rise. 7,000. When the golden light broke through 7,000, the golden light of the stone tablet rushed into the sky. Everyone was shocked. Wei Zhangyuan only felt that his eyes were dark. Eternally invincible. Someone in the crowd said. Eternally invincible. Everyone was in a state of shock. In the distance, Wang King was rushing towards the stone tablet. Suddenly, he saw a golden light rushing into the sky from the direction of the stone tablet. Even the clouds in the sky were dispersed. He was shocked. What is this? Could it be that Wei Zhangyuan's test has not been completed yet? Wei Zhangyuan actually caused such an amazing phenomenon. He couldn't help but speed up and rush to the stone tablet. When Wang King arrived, he saw that the stone tablet was full of people inside and outside, and it was so crowded that he couldn't see what was going on inside. Since everyone was shocked by the strange phenomenon of the stone tablet, no one noticed Wang King's arrival. Wang King squeezed in and saw the golden light on the stone tablet stopped. When he saw the value on the stone tablet clearly, he screamed in horror. 7,321. Then he looked at the figure standing in front of the stone tablet. Yangzai Ocean. He shouted tremblingly. Although it was just a back view, he still recognized Yangzai Ocean. It turned out that it was Yangzai Ocean who caused such an amazing phenomenon on the stone tablet. Chapter 288. The final battle at the top of Sky Burial. That's right. 7,321. This is the talent value of Yangzai Ocean's casual attack. Everyone was shocked by the 7,321. When they heard Wang King's exclamation, they realized that Wang King had arrived. Dean. Everyone bowed quickly. Wang King walked to Yangzai Ocean excitedly, wanting to hold Yangzai Ocean's hand, but not daring to do so, choking and saying, "Child, Xianzang Academy is proud of you. Xianzang Academy has stood for countless years and has produced many invincible people and sword gods who have shocked the Kangshan continent, but no one has ever made Xianzang Academy proud of them. But now, Xianzang Academy is proud of Yangzai Ocean." Wei Zhangyuan stood by and listened to Wang King telling Yangzai Ocean that Xianzang Academy was proud of him, and his face became extremely ugly. What a great honor it is to be able to make Xianzang Academy proud of him. Originally, this honor was his, but Yangzai Ocean appeared. Yangzai Ocean, I want to fight you. At this moment, Wei Zhangyuan suddenly said, "Fight." Wei Zhangyuan's words were shocking. Everyone was shocked. No one expected Wei Zhangyuan to suddenly ask for a decisive battle with Yangzai Ocean. After the accident, everyone was very excited. Wei Zhangyuan practiced the immovable sword body of the King of Light, possessed 10 supreme golden elixirs, and was personally taught by the magic heaven sword god. Among his peers, it would be difficult for anyone to stop him. If he fought a decisive battle with Yangzai Ocean, it would be very exciting. Decisive battle. Yangzai Ocean looked at Wei Zhangyuan with a face full of jealousy and said calmly, "Yes, decisive battle. Yangzai Ocean, do you dare?" Wei Zhangyuan said in a deep voice, 3 months later, we will fight at the top of the Sky Burial Peak. The top of the Sky Burial means the highest mountain of the Sky Burial Academy, Wangshan Peak. Okay. This time, Yang Xiaoshan did not refuse and agreed. Okay. 3 months later, at the top of the Sky Burial Peak, I'll wait for you. Wei Zhangyuan said coldly, and then he was about to lead his men away. You seem to have forgotten something. Just as Wei Zhangyuan was about to leave, Yang Xiaoshan spoke. Wei Zhangyuan was startled. Then he understood what Yang Xiaoshan meant. He hesitated for a moment, took out 7 holy level pills, and threw them to Yang Xiaoshan with a painful look on his face. Afterwards, Wei Zhangyuan left with a group of his men, somewhat embarrassed. Everyone looked at Wei Zhangyuan's departing figure, with mixed feelings in their hearts. Wei Zhangyuan had originally broken the eternal curse, breaking through to 6,000, and created a miracle of the Foyuan Empire, but in front of Yang Xiaoshan's 7,321, it became eclipsed. After Wei Zhangyuan left, Wan King excitedly pulled Yang Xiaoshan to chat about some family matters, and then left. When leaving, he once again told Yang Xiaoshan that he could come to him for anything in the future. After Wan King left, the strong men from all sides also left one after another. When many family strong men left, they bowed to Yang Xiaoshan. After Long Boang and the other 4 congratulated Yang Xiaoshan, they also left hand in hand. In the end, only Zeduo Qiu and Mu Yunshan were left. Mu Yunshan came to Yang Xiaoshan, smiling. Her eyes seemed to be charming. Congratulations, Brother Yang, for creating an eternal miracle. Zeduo Qiu looked at Mu Yunshan's charming smile and swallowed. A few days ago, he was Junior Brother Yang, but today he became Brother Yang. The change was fast enough. Yang Xiaoshan shook his head and said, no one can create an eternal miracle. He was not being modest. Time passed slowly and no one could predict the future. Hearing this, Mu Yunshan took a few steps forward and almost came to Yang Xiaoshan's chest. She smiled and said, Brother Yang, are you free tonight? Zeduo Qiu drawled, and the voice was abrupt, causing Mu Yunshan to roll his eyes at Zeduo Qiu. I wonder what senior sister Mu wants? Yang Xiaoshan still looked at Mu Yunshan vigilantly. Mu Yunshan covered her mouth and laughed softly. Brother Yang, are you so afraid of me? Are you afraid that I will eat you? I'm not afraid as a girl, so why are you afraid as a man? Then she said, it is not convenient to talk here. Come to my cave at night, and I will talk to you. Zeduo Qiu said, Senior Sister Mu, can I also go to your cave to sit at night? Mu Yunshan smiled and said, sure, as long as you are not afraid of having your 3 legs broken. Zeduo Qiu was so scared that she clamped her crotch. Senior Sister Mu, just talk here. Yang Xiaoshan said. Mu Yunshan was about to say something but stopped. Seeing this, Zeduo Qiu walked away tactfully. After Zeduo Qiu left, Mu Yunshan said to Yang Xiaoshan, my grandfather was poisoned by a strange cold poison a few years ago. Our Mu family used various methods, but we could not get rid of this poison. This poison can only be expelled by the 10 great strange fires. Yang Xiaoshan suddenly understood. I want to ask Junior Brother Yang to help my grandfather get rid of this poison. Mu Yunshan pleaded, of course, we won't let Junior Brother Yang help in vain. If Junior Brother Yang is willing to help, you can choose 3 treasures from any treasure in our Mu family's treasury. The Mu family is one of the most powerful families in the Eastern Wasteland. Together with his Zenzi family, they are known as the 2 most powerful families in the Eastern Wasteland. Even in the entire Foyuan Empire, the Mu family is enough to squeeze into the top 10. The Mu family's treasury is absolutely amazing. It is a generous condition to allow Yang Xiaoshan to choose 3 items at will. Seeing Mu Yunshan's sincere look, Yang Xiaoshan pondered and said, I can help get rid of the strange cold poison in your grandfather's body, but I have to wait until after the decisive battle with Wei Zhangyuan. After all, the Eastern Wasteland is not close. He will climb the Sky Burial Mountain on the 1st of next month. After the Sky Burial Mountain, if nothing unexpected happens, he will have to enter the Soul Beast Forest to hunt million-year soul beasts and condense a million-year soul ring. Therefore, he has no time before the decisive battle with Wei Zhangyuan. Hearing Yang Xiaoshan's agreement, Mu Yunshan couldn't help herself. Her beautiful eyes were full of joy. "Okay, junior brother Yang, then we have a deal." Then she said to Yang Ocean, "The He family has always been eyeing my Mu family. If they knew that my grandfather was poisoned by the strange cold, they would probably attack our Mu family, so please keep this a secret, junior brother Yang." Yang Ocean nodded. When leaving, Mu Yunshin deliberately teased Yang Ocean and said with a smile, "Junior brother Yang, if you are free in the evening, come to my Teohua Peak 40, any night is fine." Then she left with her round buttocks twisted. Yang Ocean shook his head. After a while, he and Zuoqiu broke through the air and left. "Brother, Wei Zhongyuan asked you to fight in 3 months, which means he is absolutely sure of this battle. You have to be careful," Zuoqiu reminded. 3 months later, he may have broken through the martial emperor and condensed a spirit ring. Many people say that if Wei Zhongyuan condenses a spirit ring, it must be more than 90,000 years, or even 99,000 years. If he really condenses a 99,000 year spirit ring, his combat power will be terrifying. Hearing this, Yang Ocean half jokingly said, "If he condenses a 99,000 year spirit ring, then I will condense a 100,000 year spirit ring." Zuoqiu was stunned, shook his head and smiled. In the evening, Yang Ocean did not go to Mu Yunshin's Teohua Peak 40, but chose an unmanned mountain to practice the beginning dragon technique. His beginning dragon technique will soon awaken the power of 10,000 real dragons, and then condense the wings of real dragons. Chapter 289, 1000 Buddha Medicine God Treasure. While Yang Ocean was practicing the dragon art and attacking the power of 10,000 real dragons, Li Yushin, Long Batian and the other 4 were gathered at Jiaowang Peak, discussing today's stone tablet test. "I didn't expect Yang Ocean's talent to be so terrifying," Little Medicine King Li Yushin said in a heavy voice. Thinking back to the scene of today's stone tablet test, he was still shocked. Long Batian was also in a complicated mood and said, he then had someone deliberately spread rumors that Yang Ocean's talent was 6,000. "I thought it was just a rumor, but I didn't expect Yang Ocean's talent to be so terrifying." Shi Huang's face was solemn. "What do you think Yang Ocean's real talent is?" Today, Yang Ocean casually hit it, and it was 7,321. This is simply shocking for eternity. But all of them knew that this was definitely not Yang Ocean's real talent. Yang Ocean's real talent must be higher than 7,321. Li Yushin, Long Batian, and Feng Nu were silent for a while, and no one dared to speak. Yang Ocean's real talent is probably 8,000. After a while, Feng Nu said in a deep voice, 8,000. Everyone's heart trembled. After a long time, "If Yang Ocean helps us open the door to the 1000 Buddha Medicine God's treasure, should we still do it?" Shi Huang said. Little Medicine King Li Yushin glanced at the few people. "The 1000 Buddha Medicine God's treasure is amazing. There are countless elixirs in it. Maybe there are god level elixirs. Do you want to share these elixirs with Yang Ocean?" Long Batian also had fierce eyes. "Yes, Yang Ocean must die." Then he said, "Then, I will do it." The next day, the sun was shining. Several people and Yang Ocean came to the agreed place, and then the 5 of them left the Xianzang Academy and went to the evil land. In order to make it easier to travel, Long Batian took out the Long family spaceship, and everyone took the spaceship together. They rushed all the way. 7 days later, everyone finally arrived at the evil land. After entering the evil land, several people drove the spaceship to continue to rush to the location of the 1000 Buddha Medicine God's treasure. Yang Ocean stood at the bow of the spaceship and looked at the evil land below. There was no grass growing in the evil land, and it was hard to see even a tree. Even if there was one, it was bare, and there were no green leaves on the branches. The whole evil land was lifeless, dead, and full of quagmires. There was even a foul smell in the whole space. This foul smell came from various corpses. Various bones could be seen everywhere in the evil land. Some were human bones, and some were the bones of various beasts. The living environment in the evil land was extremely bad, but it was also a place for robbers and villains to hide. Therefore, generally few family members entered the evil land. Many robbers and villains saw Yang Ocean and his spaceship entering the evil land, and they originally had the idea of robbing and killing. When they saw that it was the Long family's spaceship, they were so scared that they dared not take action. Even the Dong Hyun Mu family, which was enough to enter the top 10 of the Foyuan Empire, was half a point behind the Zhang Xiaolong family. Even the Foyuan Imperial family was afraid of the Zhang Xiaolong family. Therefore, everyone came to the vicinity of the Thousand Buddhas Medicine God treasure without any danger. It's in front. Little Medicine King Li Yushan pointed forward. It was dark ahead, and the sky and earth were filled with a faint black mist. Although it was daytime, there was no sunlight here, and everyone seemed to have entered a dark world. This is the black ice gas, Li Yushan said to Yang Xiaoshan. 3 or 4 miles ahead is the Thousand Buddha Medicine God treasure. Several people drove the spaceship slowly forward. After entering the world covered by the black ice gas, it was almost pitch dark. Li Yushan and his friends were well prepared, and took out 2 flame beads. This flame bead is the eye of the ancient strange beast flame beast. With the flame bead, the surrounding black ice gas dissipated a lot. However, as they approached the Thousand Buddha Medicine God treasure, the black ice gas became thicker and thicker, and the light of the flame bead was constantly compressed, becoming increasingly dim, and almost without light. Seeing this, Yang Xiaoshan summoned the flame of the stars. Suddenly, all the black ice gas within 100 meters around was dispersed. Seeing this, Long Batian exclaimed, "Brother Yang, star flame is worthy of being one of the top 100 strange fires." Li Yushan looked at the star flame around Yang Xiaoshan, and greed flashed in his eyes. The top 10 strange fires were difficult to subdue, but he still had a little confidence in the top 100 strange fires. If Yang Xiaoshan died, then this star flame would be his. With the star flame, his medicine refining skills would be further improved, and the quality of the elixirs he would refine in the future would be even more refined. With the power of the star flame, the spacecraft was moving smoothly, and soon, the Thousand Buddha Medicine God Cave Mansion was in sight. However, the entire Thousand Buddha Medicine God Cave Mansion was shrouded in black obsidian ice fog, and only a shadow of the cave could be seen vaguely. When he arrived in front of the Medicine God Cave Mansion, even the star flame could not dispel the obsidian ice fog in front of the cave, because the obsidian ice fog in front of the Medicine God Cave Mansion was so thick that it was already like a substance. Looking at the Medicine God Cave Mansion completely shrouded in the black ice fog, Yang Xiaoshan frowned. No wonder Long Batian and his men said they couldn't open the cave door. The black ice fog in front of the cave door alone was too thick to melt, not to mention the door made of black ice. Yang Xiaoshan summoned the 9 Phoenix Golden Flame, and moved forward step by step. Under the power of the 9 Phoenix Golden Flame, the ice fog in front of the cave door was gradually burned away. Several people saw the cave door. The entire cave door was flashing with an astonishing dark light, and black ice gas was gushing out. Even the 9 Phoenix Golden Flame could only burn these black ice gases, and could not melt the door. Seeing this, Yang Xiaoshan could only summon the Flame of the Earth. Under the power of the Flame of the Earth, finally, a stream of hot air appeared at the door. This was the heat generated by the continuous burning of the black ice at the door. When Long Batian and his men saw it, they were overjoyed, and their hanging hearts were relieved. Soon, half an hour passed. The gate, which was originally 1 meter thick, melted to only half an inch under the burning of the Flame of the Earth, as thin as a black mirror, and even the things inside the cave could be seen. Seeing this, Long Batian's eyes were full of murderous intent, and his hands were secretly gathering strength. As long as the gate was completely melted, he would immediately take action. Time passed slowly. The gate was steaming. Finally, the entire gate turned into a pool of black water. Just as Long Batian was about to punch Yang Xiaoshan in the back, Shi Huang suddenly stretched out his hand and stopped Long Batian, then shook his head. Long Batian was puzzled. Maybe we will need Yang Xiaoshan's Flame of the Earth later. It won't be too late to kill him after we get the elixir inside. Shi Huang sent a voice message to the 3 people. Long Batian and the other 2 thought for a while, and all nodded, agreeing with Shi Huang's suggestion. Brother Yang, let's find the treasure of the God of Medicine first to see if there is any elixir, and then divide it equally. Li Yushan stepped forward and smiled at Yang Xiaoshan. So, several people entered the cave. However, Li Yushan and his companions did not notice that when they entered the cave, a black shadow floated over and followed them into the cave. Chapter 290 True Dragon Wings. Li Yushan, Long Batian and the other two were all at the 5th level of the Martial Emperor, and the Black Shadow following them was at least at the Saint Realm. However, after entering the cave, the Black Shadow was not in a hurry to attack, but quietly followed behind Yang Xiaoshan, Li Yushan and the others. After entering the cave, Li Yushan, Long Batian and the others followed Yang Xiaoshan, as if they were afraid that Yang Xiaoshan would run away. Li Yushan was quite knowledgeable about the Medicine God Cave, and he pointed to the palace in front and said, "The palace in front should be the place where the 1000 Buddha Medicine God refines medicine." The others hurried to the palace. However, they saw that the palace gate was also tightly closed, and there was a lock on the palace gate, which was also made of black ice. Although the black ice here was not as terrifying as the gate outside, it was equally amazing. Li Yushan, Long Batian and the others bombarded the palace gate, but the gate did not move at all. Obviously, in order to open the palace gate, the black ice lock must be melted. At this time, Long Batian couldn't help but feel lucky that he didn't rush to kill Yang Xiaoshan before. If he had killed Yang Xiaoshan, they might not have gotten the elixir inside. So, Yang Xiaoshan stepped forward and summoned the flame of the earth again. This time, the black yawn ice lock melted quickly. After the black yawn ice lock melted, several people stepped forward and pushed open the heavy door. As soon as the door was opened, the surging sea of elixir fragrance rushed towards everyone. Everyone was shocked, but then everyone was overjoyed. Such a surging elixir fragrance meant that the elixir inside was extremely amazing. Li Yushan, Long Batian and the other four almost rushed into the hall. Inside the hall, there were elixir jade bottles placed one after another, and around the elixir, there were one after another of the secret books of refining medicine placed in a mess. Li Yushan and the other four excitedly opened one jade bottle after another. Shiny hidden pill. And it was saint level. Potion pill. It was also saint level. In one jade bottle after another, almost all of them were saint level elixirs. Li Yushan and the other three looked at it with shining eyes. They did not ask Yang Xiaoshan how to distribute the pills. They put all the pills into their space rings and collected them one by one. Yang Xiaoshan did not speak, but watched the four people frantically collecting the pills with a calm face. Li Yushan and the other four took away all the pills, even the secret books of refining medicine. Although Long Batian did not refine medicine, these secret books of refining medicine were left by the 1000 Buddha's medicine god in the past. Each one of them would be worth a fortune if it was auctioned. Therefore, the four people also took away all the secret books of refining medicine, leaving no one behind. The few people did not ask Yang Xiaoshan whether they wanted them or not. The few people had completely ignored Yang Xiaoshan's existence. Finally, everything in the hall was taken away by the four people, even the MTJ bottles in the corner. These MTJ bottles were all made of rare 10,000-year-old jade. The bottles themselves were treasures. After they had collected all the pills and all the secret books of alchemy, Yang Xiaoshan said calmly, "I remember you said that, if I help you open the door to the treasure, the things inside will be divided equally among the 5 of us." Li Yushan and the other 3 laughed at each other. "You want pills?" Li Yushan took out one of the holy pills and said jokingly, "This is indeed a good thing, but Yang Xiaoshan, your brain is made of a pig's brain. You don't think we will really share it with you, right?" Long Batian said with a smile, "Yang Xiaoshan, before we came, the 4 of us had agreed to kill you and divide the 14 holy pills on you. Tell me, who among the 4 of us do you want to die in? Since you helped us open the door to the treasure, we can let you choose. Of course, there is only one chance." At this point, the long swords in the hands of the 4 people appeared, and Shi Huang and Feng Nu blocked Yang Xiaoshan's retreat. Yang Xiaoshan looked normal, looked at the 4 people, and shook his head. "Originally, since you brought me here to find the 1000 Buddha's treasure, I can share the things in it with you equally, but since you want to kill me, you can't blame me." Then he said calmly, "I want everything in it." Li Yushan laughed at this. "Yang Xiaoshan, you are strong, but you are a peak martial arts master. No matter how strong you are, you can't be a match for the 4 of us." At this, his 5th level martial arts aura was released, rushing towards Yang Xiaoshan like a raging wave. "We want the 14 holy level pills on you, and I also want the star flame on you." Li Yushan's murderous intent flashed, and the long sword in his hand stabbed out instantly. His long sword was as sharp as a rainbow. It was the supreme sword technique of the Foyan Empire, the heaven and earth sword technique. Moreover, Li Yushan had already practiced to the pinnacle. Under the infusion of Li Yushan's 5th level martial arts true essence, the long sword in his hand burst out with a dazzling sword light. Seeing Li Yushan's move, Long Batian and the other two did not make a move. They firmly believed that with Li Yushan's strength, it was more than enough to deal with Yang Xiaoshan, a martial master. At the moment, when Li Yushan made a move, suddenly, a dragon roar shook the sky, and thousands of true dragons in Yang Xiaoshan's body soared into the sky. At the same time, a thick layer of dragon scales appeared on Yang Xiaoshan's body. These dragon scales gathered together, like a piece of dragon armor. Before coming, his beginning dragonaut finally awakened the power of thousands of true dragons. His true dragon tyrant body evolved into the Dragon King body again. This is the Dragon King body. The Dragon King body can produce dragon scales. Then, the power of thousands of dragons condensed and turned into two huge dragon wings behind Yang Xiaoshan. Yang Xiaoshan's palm blocked the opponent's long sword. The long sword hit it, and the light burst out. Even the dragon scales on Yang Xiaoshan's palm could not be broken. In the opponent's surprised eyes, the wings of the real dragon behind Yang Xiaoshan spread out, which were hundreds of feet long, and suddenly slashed out. When the real dragon wings were slashed out, a sharp whistling sound was produced in the space. Li Yushan was shocked and blocked with the long sword in his hand. But then the whole person was slashed and flew out, hitting the stone pillar of the hall, and the stone pillar of the hall was broken. What? Whether it was Long Batian, Shi Huang, or Feng Nu, they all looked at Yang Xiaoshan, who was covered with dragon scales, and had dragon wings on his back, with shock on their faces. At this time, Yang Xiaoshan stood there, just like a human-shaped real dragon. The surging dragon pressure covered all directions. The real dragon wings behind Yang Xiaoshan suddenly spread out, and the wind force condensed. The next moment, he appeared in front of Long Batian, Shi Huang, and Feng Nu. With the speed of the real dragon wings, Yang Xiaoshan's speed was so fast that the three of them could not see clearly. Then, the real dragon wings turned into two real dragon blades of 100 feet, cutting across. The next second Long Batian and the other two were all swept away, and like Li Yushan, they were smashed hard in the corner of the hall and vomited blood. However, at the moment when Yang Xiaoshan knocked Long Batian and the other two flying, suddenly, the dark shadow hidden in the dark made a move, and he slapped out a palm print as big as a mountain, crashing towards Yang Xiaoshan. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 291, The Whereabouts of the Thousand Buddhas. Divine Fire. Long Batian and the other three were surprised to see the palm print that was as big as a mountain and destroyed the world, blasting towards Yang Xiaoshan. None of the four expected such a sudden change. Just when they were overjoyed and thought that Yang Xiaoshan was going to be blown up by the palm print, suddenly, the palm print stopped in front of Yang Xiaoshan. There was no sign. Then, the palm print suddenly exploded. The power of the palm print that destroyed the world dissipated. Long Batian and the other three looked in surprise and saw that a tall middle-aged man appeared in front of Yang Xiaoshan. The middle-aged man was the Sky Blue Thunder Python. After the Sky Blue Thunder Python blasted the palm print, it snorted coldly and shot one hand towards the void, and then saw a black figure in the void falling like a meteorite. Bang! A huge pit was blasted out of the ground. When Long Batian and the other four saw the black figure clearly, their faces changed. Demon Ancestor of Destruction. Demon Ancestor of Destruction, an existence beyond the Holy Realm. Although he has not yet achieved the status of a god, he is already a demigod. The Devil Ancestor of Destruction was a demon with a monstrous reputation in Central Continent, and was almost the first person under the gods of the Buddhist Empire. However, such a being was pulled out by the middle-aged man next to Yang Xiaoshan. What was the strength of the middle-aged man next to Yang Xiaoshan? Just as Long Batian and the other four were shocked, the Devil Ancestor of Destruction looked at the Azure Thunder Python in front of Yang Xiaoshan with horror. Got. Long Batian and the other four were almost fainted by the explosion. After the devil ancestor of destruction finished speaking, he suddenly turned into a beam of magic light and tried to escape. He didn't dare to think about the treasure of the 1,000 Buddhas medicine god. However, just when he was about to escape from the door of the hall, a man with ice blue flames all over his body appeared at the door of the hall. Seeing this man blocking the door, the devil ancestor of destruction was furious and punched out, "Get out of my way." His full strength punch was more than twice as powerful as the palm power just now. However, when his fist of demonic flames hit the man of ice blue flames, the man of ice blue flames waved it away. The power of the fist of the devil ancestor Mishan was shot back to the devil ancestor Mishan. The devil ancestor Mishan was frightened and dodged quickly. As soon as he dodged, the fist of demonic flames whizzed past the position where he was standing before, and then hit a corner of the hall. The corner of the hall was directly blasted through. The devil ancestor Mishan was shocked and broke into a cold sweat. Just as he was still in shock, he saw a figure flashing, and the man of ice blue flames had already come in front of him. The opponent only slapped him, and the devil ancestor Mishan was like a kite with a broken string, shooting backwards, smashing through countless palace buildings along the way, and a rumbling sound came from the end of the cave. Long Batian and the other four were stunned. Is it another god? Then, Bingayan Kilin grabbed the devil ancestor of destruction from the end of the cave with one hand and threw it in front of Yang Xiaoshan. "Young master, how do you deal with this kid?" "Young master." Devil ancestor of destruction looked at Yang Xiaoshan in fear. "First seal his power and hang him up," Yang Xiaoshan said. Bingayan Kilin immediately understood what Yang Xiaoshan was going to do next. Without saying anything, he sealed the power of devil ancestor of destruction and then hung him in the air. "Hang them up as well." Yang Xiaoshan looked at Long Batian, Feng Nu and the other four. Cheyenne King Thunder Python did the same thing and hung Long Batian, Feng Nu and the other four in the air. Before Long Batian and the others understood what Yang Xiaoshan was going to do, Yang Xiaoshan suddenly punched Long Batian in the belly. It was still the familiar sound of beating a drum. It was still the sure power that never failed. Then, Yang Xiaoshan punched Li Yushan in the belly again, and even Feng Nu and Devil Ancestor of Destruction were no exception. After the first blast, Yang Xiaoshan did not speak, and continued to blast for the second time. When Yang Xiaoshan blasted for the fourth time, Long Batian burst into tears in fear, and asked Yang Xiaoshan to stop blasting. Yang Xiaoshan continued to blast with a blank expression. In the end, the blast made Long Batian and his men's stomachs twitch, and they almost lost control of their bowels and fesses. Long Batian and his 4 men almost cried as they took out all the pills and secret books they had obtained earlier. Yang Xiaoshan took out the control pill and asked Long Batian and his 5 men to swallow it. Looking at the control pill, the Devil Ancestor of Destruction hesitated, and Yang Xiaoshan blasted out another sure force. Just like when he dealt with the barefoot old demon and the assassin building owner Shian Zenggai, he blasted until they swallowed the pill. Originally, according to Yang Xiaoshan's intention, he would kill Long Batian and his 4 men directly. However, when Yang Xiaoshan and his men came out, many people in the Xianzang Academy saw it. If Long Batian and his 4 men died, the Long family, the Shi family, the Phoenix family, and the Buddhist masters whole of the Foyuan Empire would definitely investigate, and there would be endless trouble. It would be better to subdue a few people and let them help him find out the news later. Finally, Mishai and Emozu, Long Batian and the other 5 swallowed the elixir, and Yang Xiaoshan put them down from midair. The 5 people survived the catastrophe and collapsed on the ground, unable to stand up. After the 5 people could barely stand up, Yang Xiaoshan led them to continue looking for the 1000 Buddha's divine fire. However, after searching the 1000 Buddha's medicine god cave mansion inside and out, they still couldn't find the 1000 Buddha's divine fire. This made Yang Xiaoshan frown. He stared at Long Batian, Li Yushan and the other 4. Long Batian and the other 4 were so scared that their faces changed drastically. "Young master, this is none of our business." Long Batian wanted to cry, but had no tears. "We just guessed that there might be 1000 Buddha's divine fire in this cave. If not, we have no way, we really have no way." At the end, his voice trembled, and his face turned pale. If they were hit by Shuriken again, they would definitely be incontinent. Seeing Long Batian and the other 4 scared like this, Yang Xiaoshan was speechless. Heaven and earth are my conscience. He really didn't intend to do anything to the 4 people just now. He just wanted to ask them about the 1,000 Buddhas fire. Yang Xiaoshan searched every corner of the cave again, but still didn't find the 1,000 Buddhas fire. Finally, Yang Xiaoshan had to leave the cave with a few people. On the way back, Yang Xiaoshan and the others continued to take Long Batian's spaceship. Do you know that the 1,000 Buddha medicine god has other caves? Yang Xiaoshan asked Long Batian and the other 4 on the way. Long Batian and the other 4 shook their heads and said they didn't know. But the devil ancestor Mishan said, "Sir, the 1,000 Buddha medicine god was a disciple of Foyuan. He practiced in Foyuan for many years. He has a cave for cultivation in Foyuan." Oh, Foyuan. Yang Xiaoshan was stunned. The Foyuan Empire mainly practices swordsmanship and Buddhism. Almost all the temples of the Foyuan Empire are gathered in Foyuan. There are not tens of millions of temples in Foyuan, but I'm afraid there are millions. Then do you know where the cave of the 1,000 Buddha medicine god is in Foyuan? Yang Xiaoshan asked. The 1,000 Buddhas divine fire might be in the cave of the 1,000 Buddhas medicine god in Foyuan. The devil ancestor of destruction shook his head and said he didn't know, then said, "If you want to know, I will have someone check it out now." The destruction demon sect he controlled was the #1 demon sect in Zhongzhou. Yang Xiaoshan nodded. Nothing happened along the way. 10 days later, everyone returned to the Sky Burial Academy. Yang Xiaoshan was timing and returned the day before the Sky Burial Mountain opened. As soon as he returned to the Sky Burial Academy, Yang Xiaoshan heard shocking news. The Devil Sky Sword God is coming to the Sky Burial Academy. Not only the Devil Sky Sword God is coming to the Sky Burial Academy, but his senior brother, the Green Lotus Sword God, is also coming to the Sky Burial Academy. Chapter 292 Two Sword Gods watching the battle. What? The Sword God of Demonic Heaven is also coming to the Sky Burial Academy. Long Batian, Li Yushan and the other 2 were shocked when they heard the news. I didn't expect that the Sword God of Azure Lotus would also come to the Sky Burial Academy. The Devil Ancestor of Destruction was also excited. Although the Devil Ancestor of Destruction was already a demigod, he also worshipped the Sword God of Azure Lotus. The 2 sword gods are coming to the Sky Burial Academy. This is definitely an unprecedented event for our Sky Burial Academy. Long Batian's eyes were burning. Yang Xiaoshan was also very surprised. He didn't expect that the Sword God of Demonic Heaven and his senior brother the Sword God of Azure Lotus would come to the Sky Burial Academy. Why do you think the 2 sword gods suddenly want to come to the Sky Burial Academy? After a while, Feng Nu suddenly said, "Are they coming for the young master?" Long Batian and the others all looked at Yang Xiaoshan. The Sword God of Azure Lotus had left the Sky Burial Academy for more than 1,000 years, and the Sword God of Demonic Heaven had been away for even longer. Now the 2 sword gods suddenly want to return to the Sky Burial Academy, which makes people suspicious. Yang Xiaoshan's talent test broke through 7,000 and reached 7,321. After 20 days, this news has almost spread throughout the entire Buddhist Empire. The entire Buddhist Empire was shocked. It is not surprising that the Magic Sky Sword God and the Green Lotus Sword God came for Yang Xiaoshan. Wei Zhongyuan is the disciple of the Magic Sky Sword God. Would the Magic Sky Sword God stand up for his disciple? Shi Huang asked in surprise. Long Batian and the others all changed their faces. If the Magic Sky Sword God really stands up for his disciple, who can stop him at Xianzang Academy? I'm afraid no one can stop the Magic Sky Sword God. The 2 gods beside their son are afraid that they can't resist. The Magic Sky Sword God once killed 4 powerful gods with 1 sword. This happened more than 2,000 years ago. More than 2,000 years ago, the strength of the Magic Sky Sword God was so terrifying, let alone more than 2,000 years later. The Magic Sky Sword God is a generation of sword gods. It is impossible for him to attack the sun for his disciples' affairs. The Devil Ancestor of Destruction shook his head. However, despite this, no one can know what the Magic Sky Sword God thinks. The Magic Sky Sword God is both good and evil, and does things according to his own preferences. However, Long Batian and his friends' worries were unnecessary. Soon, the Sky Burial Academy spread that the Magic Sky Sword God and the Green Lotus Sword God came for the decisive battle between Yang Xiaoshan and Wei Zhongyuan 3 months later. The 2 came to watch the battle. TSK, Yang Ocean and Wei Zhangyuan are fighting, and the two great sword gods are watching. What an honor. I heard that not only the two great sword gods are coming to watch the battle, but also the strong men of the Peacock clan will come to watch the battle. What? The strong men of the Peacock clan will also come? A stone stirred up 1,000 waves. The Peacock clan is the strongest clan in the Foyuan Empire. It has an unshakable supreme position in the Foyuan Empire. Unless something big happens, the Peacock clan will not leave Peacock Mountain. Now, the Peacock clan is coming to watch the battle. How can it not be surprising? Not only the Peacock clan, I heard that there will be masters from the Foyuan Imperial household, and there will be masters from Foyuan. One shocking news after another made millions of students in the Sky Burial Academy boil. The Demon Heaven Sword God, the Blue Lotus Sword God, the Peacock clan, the Buddha Yuan Imperial family, and the Buddha Yuan masters all appeared at the Xianzang Academy. What a shocking thing. Yang Ocean was also surprised when he heard the news. He didn't expect that his battle with Wei Zhangyuan would attract so many masters to come and watch. But it's normal to think about it. Whether it's Wei Zhangyuan or himself, their talents have broken through 6,000, which are eternal miracles. Naturally, the battle between him and Wei Zhangyuan has attracted the attention of countless strong people. The strong people from all sides came, probably because they wanted to see his true talent. They wanted to see what kind of martial soul he is. They wanted to see what kind of golden elixir he condensed. They even wanted to see his sword talent. Do you want to see my martial soul and golden elixir? Yang Ocean said to himself. By the way, he hasn't shown his martial soul in front of others for many years. Just when the news about the magic sky sword god and the green lotus sword god was spreading like wildfire, suddenly, someone spread the news. Wei Zhangyuan's Mingwang Budang sword body has broken through and entered the 10th level. When the news came out, many powerful people were surprised. The first 9 levels of the Mingwang Budang sword body are the most difficult to practice. But once it breaks through to the 10th level, the power will increase dramatically. At that time, wherever the mind goes, the sword energy will go so fast that it is unimaginable. I didn't expect Wei Zhangyuan's Mingwang Budang sword body to break through to the 10th level. Wan King, the dean of the Sky Burial Academy, was also surprised when he heard the news. Who will win between Wei Zhangyuan and Yang Ocean? The elders of the academy were very curious about this. Wan King couldn't answer this question either. If it was before, he thought Yang Ocean would definitely win, but now that Wei Zhangyuan's Mingwang Budang sword body has broken through to the 10th level, it's hard to say. The Mingwang Budang sword body is the strongest sword body of the Peacock clan. As the dean of the Sky Burial Academy, he certainly knows how powerful the Mingwang Budang sword body is. Once the Mingwang Budang sword body breaks through the 10th level, its power will be absolutely amazing. Hearing that Wei Zhangyuan had cultivated the immovable sword body of the King of Light to the 10th level, Yang Ocean's face remained calm. The night was long. The next day, the sun shone brightly on the earth. Yang Ocean brought Long Batian and the other 4 to the Heavenly Burial Mountain. In order not to cause a stir, Yang Ocean asked the Devil Ancestor of Destruction to wear a ghost head mask. When he arrived at the Heavenly Burial Mountain, Yang Ocean met Wei Zhangyuan. Beside Wei Zhangyuan, there were Liang Lin, Chen Sha and others, who were obviously also here to climb the Heavenly Burial Mountain. Seeing Yang Ocean, Wei Zhangyuan and the others naturally had bad faces. Especially Chen Sha, who was shocked and hated Yang Ocean. Liang Lin said, Yang Ocean, my son, the immovable sword body of the King of Light has been cultivated to the 10th level. In the decisive battle in 2 months, you will definitely lose. Really? Yang Ocean was unmoved. Wei Zhangyuan looked at Yang Ocean proudly. Yang Ocean, I hope you can block my 3 swords by then. Hearing this, Yang Ocean smiled and said, I hope you can block my punch by then. Hearing Yang Ocean mention the punch, Long Batian, Mishai and Emozu and the other 5 were all trembling in their stomachs. Now, whenever Yang Ocean mentioned the punch, they would think of Shurajin and that tragic scene. Wei Zhangyuan saw the reaction of Long Batian and the others, and although he felt strange, he didn't think much about it. After a while, the Sky Burial Mountain was opened, and Yang Ocean, Long Batian, Feng Nu and the others began to climb the mountain, while Mishai and Emozu waited for Yang Xiaoshan at the foot of the mountain. As soon as he entered the Sky Burial Mountain, Yang Xiaoshan felt the amazing sword spirit. Yang Xiaoshan didn't use the dragon art, and let the sword spirits bombard him, making a clanging sound. Then, he separated from Long Batian and the other four, and walked to the top of the Sky Burial Mountain alone. In addition to the sword spirit energy, Xianzang Mountain is also shrouded in rich spiritual energy. This spiritual energy does not dissolve all year round, just like white mist. Therefore, inside Xianzang Mountain, everyone can only see 100 meters. After Wei Zhangyuan entered Xianzang Mountain, he also separated from Lianglin and Chensha, and he also walked towards the top of the mountain. The closer to the top of the mountain, the stronger the sword spirit energy. The sword spirit energy is like a sharp sword hitting Yang Xiaoshan. At first, Yang Xiaoshan was fine, but as the sword spirit energy became stronger and stronger, sword marks appeared on his body. Chapter 293 Entering the Kangshan Cave. Moreover, the sword marks were getting deeper and deeper. Blood began to seep out. Yang Xiaoshan had to use the dragon beginning technique, and his whole body was covered with dragon scales. With the dragon scales covering him, the sword spirits that hit Yang Xiaoshan only splashed a series of flames. But when Yang Xiaoshan came to the halfway point of the mountain, even the body of the Dragon King could not resist the sword spirits. The dragon scales were broken one by one, and blood oozed out again. Yang Xiaoshan could only let Dingyue protect him, and continue to walk to the top of the mountain. As the innate sword formation near the top of the mountain, the sword spirits became more and more dense, like a violent sea of swords, bombarding Yang Xiaoshan all the time. If it was a saint, I'm afraid it would be difficult to move. However, no matter how violent and dense the sword spirits were, they could not shake Dingyue's golden light shield. Tens of millions of sword spirits bombarded the golden light shield like a rain of arrows. This scene was shocking. Yang Xiaoshan quickly moved forward with tens of millions of sword spirits. Because the Sky Burial Mountain was only open for one day, he had to quickly reach the top of the mountain, and not waste time. Under the invincible defense of Master Ding, half an hour later, Yang Xiaoshan finally arrived at the top of Xianzang Mountain. Since no one has come up to the top of the mountain for many years, the spiritual energy on the top of the mountain is the most concentrated. Yang Xiaoshan took a deep breath, and the spiritual energy seemed to burst his lungs. If he practiced on this mountaintop for a year or two, the benefits would be absolutely unimaginable. Although the sword spirit of Xianzang Mountain is amazing, it has not destroyed any grass or tree on the mountain. Therefore, the top of the mountain is lush with trees, and there are clusters of spiritual medicines and flowers. The scenery is very charming. After Yang Xiaoshan passed through the lush trees, he came to the Xianshan sword formation. In front of him, there was sword energy all over the sky. The sky and the ground were all filled with sword energy. At a glance, the sea of sword energy seemed to have no end. Looking at the dense sword formation and sword energy in front of him, Yang Xiaoshan's scalp numbed. He could see that this Xianshan sword formation was stronger than the Xianshan sword formation on Black Snow Mountain back then. Yang Xiaoshan took a deep breath and stepped into the Xianshan sword formation. As soon as he entered the Xianshan sword formation, the endless sword energy roared towards Yang Xiaoshan like a raging lion. Boom, boom, boom. Billions of sword energy slammed into the golden light shield, making an astonishing sound. Yang Xiaoshan's ears were buzzing. Even though Yang Xiaoshan had the protection of Dingyue's golden light shield, the impact of billions of sword energy made it difficult for Yang Xiaoshan to move forward. Yang Xiaoshan walked towards the center of the Xianshan sword formation step by step. After walking for a while, he could no longer see the way back. Everything around him was filled with sword energy. The sword energy was vast. For a moment, Yang Xiaoshan suddenly felt a sense of enlightenment. The 8-9 color sword hearts on his chest seemed to echo the sword energy in the sky and began to bloom with dazzling sword light. I don't know how long I walked. Finally, Yang Xiaoshan encountered the first Xianshan sword spirit. Immediately, Yang Xiaoshan used the sword control technique to bind the Xianshan sword spirit and then put it into the medicine cauldron. The Sky Burial Mountain was only open for one day, and there was no time to refine the innate sword spirits, so he could only collect the innate sword spirits into the medicine cauldron first, and refine them when he returned. In this way, Yang Xiaoshan continued to move forward in the innate sword formation. When he encountered innate sword spirits, he used the sword control technique to take them away. After Yang Xiaoshan subdued several innate sword spirits, he finally saw the legendary Kangshen Cave Mansion. The Kangshen Cave Mansion was filled with divine power and stood deep in the innate sword formation, surrounded by sword energy. The cave was extremely tall. On the gate, the words Kangshen were written in ancient characters. Looking at the Kangshen Cave Mansion in front of him, Yang Xiaoshan was excited. This was the cave where the master of their Kangshen continent practiced in the past. Even though it has been a million years, the power of the Lord of Kangshen permeated the entire continent. After a while, Yang Xiaoshan walked to the front of the gate and looked at the closed gate. He urged the power of the 18 sword monuments. The 18 sword monuments gathered behind him. Under the bombardment of the power of the 18 sword tablets, the originally closed door began to open slowly with a trembling light. Seeing the power of the 18 sword tablets open the door of Kangshen Cave Mansion, Yang Xiaoshan was delighted. Kangshen said that the power of the 18 sword tablets was the key to unlocking the secret treasure of Kangshen's heart. There is no doubt that Kangshen's heart is inside. After the door of Kangshen Cave Mansion was completely opened, Yang Xiaoshan walked into Kangshen Cave Mansion. Just as Yang Xiaoshan walked into Kangshen Cave Mansion, somewhere in Xianzang Mountain, suddenly a series of colorful sword energy rushed into the sky, stirring up the wind and clouds. The students of Xianzang Mountain were shocked. Not long after, there was news. Wei Zhongyuan condensed the 7th Golden Buddha Sword Heart. Xianzang Academy was shocked. The Golden Buddha Sword Heart is also the strongest sword heart. Lianglin, Chen Sha and others were all excited when they learned that Wei Zhongyuan condensed the 7th Golden Buddha Sword Heart and shouted to the sky, "Young master is invincible." At such a young age, Wei Zhongyuan can condense the 7th Golden Buddha Sword Heart. This is absolutely unprecedented in the Buddhist Empire. Wan King was also greatly shocked when he learned that Wei Zhongyuan had condensed the 7th Golden Buddha Sword Heart. After a long while, he said, in the decisive battle in 2 months, Yang Xiaoshan is afraid that he will lose. Wei Zhongyuan has a level 14 martial soul, one of the 10 best golden elixirs, and has cultivated the Mingwang unmovable sword body to the 10th level. He also has 7 golden Buddha sword hearts. Who can be his opponent under the same realm? While the outside world was boiling over Wei Zhongyuan's condensation of the 7th Golden Buddha Sword Heart, Yang Xiaoshan came to the front hall of Kangshen Cave Mansion. The front hall of Kangshen Cave Mansion was full of golden divine light. When Yang Xiaoshan came in, the golden divine light condensed into a golden god of 100 feet. The golden god in front of him was also the divine thought left by Kangshen that year. "Child, you are finally here." Kangshen's divine thought looked at Yang Xiaoshan and smiled. "Lord Kangshen." Yang Xiaoshan said respectfully. Kangshen smiled and said, "This Kangshen cave has a total of 5 palaces. The first palace must be opened with the power of the 18 sword tablets. The first palace has 9 layers of heavenly tribulation, thunder and water." Yang Xiaoshan was surprised to hear this. In other words, the first front hall where he is now has 9 layers of heavenly tribulation, thunder and water. The second palace must be opened with a divine golden elixir and a million-year soul ring. Inside is the Kangshen sword and Kangshen sword technique. The third palace must be opened with 14 of the strongest sword hearts. Inside is the Kangshen hand in the Kangshen set. The fourth palace must be opened with 14 of the strongest destiny. Inside is the Kangshen pill. The fifth palace must be opened with 14 of the most primordial holy fruits. Inside is the Kangshen heart. When Kangshen's divine thoughts said this, they gradually dissipated like before. Yang Xiaoshan was stunned. He finally knew what the 5 conditions that Kangshen mentioned when he was on the sword path were. Divine golden elixir, million-year soul ring, 14 of the strongest sword hearts, 14 of the strongest destiny, 14 of the most primordial holy fruits. Only with these 5 conditions can one merge with his Kangshen heart. Yang Xiaoshan was speechless. These 5 conditions were simply more demanding than the other. One was more ruthless than the other. Chapter 294 Soul Beast Forest. Whether it is to condense 14 strongest destinies or 14 primordial holy fruits, it is much more difficult than condensing 14 strongest sword hearts. Condensing 14 strongest destinies is 10 times more difficult than condensing 14 strongest sword hearts. Condensing 14 primordial holy fruits is even more difficult. Hundreds of times more difficult. After a warrior cultivates to the peak of the Emperor realm, he can condense destiny. However, not all emperors at the peak can condense destiny. The conditions are extremely harsh, just like not all warriors can condense sword hearts. The emperors at the peak, who can condense destiny, are very rare. The emperors at the peak, who can condense 10 destinies, are even more extinct. As for the 14 strongest destinies, Yang Xiaoshan has never heard of it. After a warrior cultivates to the peak of the Saint realm, he can condense holy fruits. However, the conditions for condensing holy fruits are even more harsh than condensing destiny. Yang Xiaoshan has met so many saints at the peak, but he has never met anyone who can condense holy fruits. Not to mention 14 primordial holy fruits. Taichu is the beginning of the vitality of heaven and earth, and the origin of heaven. The primordial holy fruit is also the strongest holy fruit. In the countless years of the Wuhan world, no one has been able to condense it successfully. The Kangshan kid asked you to condense the divine gold item, condense the million-year soul ring, 14 of the strongest sword hearts, 14 of the strongest destiny, and 14 primordial holy fruits, in order to let you lay the most solid foundation between heaven and earth. At this time, Yaoding said earnestly, if you can complete it, you can go further, when you become a god in the future. In the future, you will thank the Kangshan kid. Moreover, you can't integrate the power of the Kangshan heart now. Only when you reach the peak of the holy realm can you do it. Otherwise, even 1/1000th of the power of the Kangshan heart can burst you 10,000 times. Yang Xiaoshan was silent after hearing this. In fact, he also understood these principles. But knowing that the Kangshan heart was right in front of him, he couldn't integrate it, which made him feel a little upset. After a moment, Yang Xiaoshan's mood calmed down. In the future, he had to work 100 times harder. He had to work hard. He scanned the hall and now had to find the 9 heavenly tribulation thunder water first. It didn't take long for Yang Xiaoshan to find a pot of 9 heaven tribulation thunder water. However, this golden pot looked a little strange. It looked like a chamber pot. Yang Xiaoshan's face was strange. Could this be the chamber pot used by the old man Kang Shen back then? For this reason, he even smelled it. No need to smell it. This is an ancient artifact. Yaoding said. Yang Xiaoshan was shocked. Ancient artifact? He couldn't help but look at the inconspicuous pot in front of him again. However, this is a broken artifact. Yaoding said. The innate divine formation inside has been severely damaged. Now it can only be used as a super space artifact. In other words, it can only be used to hold things now. Yang Xiaoshan couldn't help but be disappointed. Then is there any way to repair this ancient artifact? Yang Xiaoshan asked. Yaoding shook his head and said, to repair the innate divine formation, it is as difficult as ascending to heaven. It requires dozens of innate divine objects. You'd better not think about it in Kangshen continent. Yang Xiaoshan nodded. He just asked casually just now. He also knew how difficult it was to repair an innate divine formation. It is impossible to find dozens of innate divine objects in the Kangshen continent. He opened the golden pot, and suddenly, thunder and lightning were steaming, evolving into various strange phenomena, with the shadow of the ancient thunder god and thousands of thunder beasts. Yang Xiaoshan roughly estimated that there should be more than 200 mouthfuls of 9 heaven tribulation thunder water in the pot. A million-year soul beast needs 100 mouthfuls. It should be enough for Master Ding to deal with 2 million-year soul beasts. He has twin supreme king martial spirits, so he needs to hunt 2 million-year soul beasts. Yang Xiaoshan asked Yaoding. About the same. Yaoding said. Afterwards, Yang Xiaoshan searched the hall again, and found that there was nothing else, except a pot of 9 heaven tribulation thunder water, so he had to withdraw from the Kangshen cave mansion. Wait until he condenses the million-year soul ring and comes back, then open the second palace, and get the Kangshen sword and Kangshen sword technique inside. Kangshen sword technique is known as the best sword technique in Kangshen continent, and I don't know how powerful it is. When he came out of the Kangshen cave mansion, it was less than a day. Yang Xiaoshan started to practice on the top of Xianzang Mountain. One day later, Xianzang Mountain was closed. Yang Xiaoshan and others were all sent out of Xianzang Mountain. When Yang Xiaoshan was about to leave with Xianmian Mozu, Long Batian and others, he met Wei Zhangyuan and others. Originally, Yang Xiaoshan didn't want to pay attention to Wei Zhangyuan and others, and wanted to go back, to refine the innate sword spirit, and condense the ninth sword heart, but Liang Lin, Wei Zhangyuan's subordinate, stopped him. Liang Lin said arrogantly, Yang Xiaoshan, if you kneel down, and admit defeat now, and fight in 2 months, my master may consider showing mercy to you. Get lost. Yang Xiaoshan said coldly. Xianmian Mozu pointed casually, Liang Lin screamed, and flew backwards, knocking down countless trees, and then disappeared from Yang Xiaoshan's sight. Wei Zhangyuan and others saw that Xianmian Mozu, who was beside Yang Xiaoshan, pointed casually and blasted Liang Lin out of everyone's sight, and they all took a breath. Chen Shao and the others who had just looked arrogant were pale and bloodless. Anything else? Yang Xiaoshan looked at Wei Zhangyuan and Chen Shao who were blocking him. Wei Zhangyuan's face changed, and he finally stepped aside and made way. Yang Xiaoshan passed by Wei Zhangyuan. Looking at Yang Xiaoshan's leaving figure, Wei Zhangyuan felt extremely humiliated, and his face was extremely ugly. This Yang Xiaoshan is too arrogant. Chen Shao said angrily and hatefully, who does he think he is? Wei Zhangyuan's eyes were also full of murderous intent. In the decisive battle in 2 months, I will make him kneel down, and lick my toes. Then he said, tomorrow, we will set off for the Soul Beast Forest. When he returns in 2 months, he will trample Yang Xiaoshan under his feet. Let the entire Foyuan Empire look at him sideways. After Yang Xiaoshan left, he found an unmanned mountain, and began to refine the 7 innate sword spirits obtained in Xianzang Mountain. Half a month later, 9 color sword hearts on Yang Xiaoshan's chest glowed. After the 8th sword heart, the 9th sword heart appeared and disappeared from time to time. He wanted to gather, but could not condense successfully. At night, the sword energy on Yang Xiaoshan dissipated and stopped. He had refined all 7 innate sword spirits, but he could not condense the 9th sword heart. He had touched the threshold of the 9th sword heart, but could not cross it. Every time he wanted to condense the 9th sword heart, he was blocked by an invisible force. It was more difficult to condense the 9th sword heart than he thought. The 9th sword heart was so difficult, let alone the 10th and 11th. But this time he had touched the threshold, and he would be able to condense successfully next time. That night, Yang Xiaoshan left the Sky Burial Academy, and went to the Soul Beast Forest. This time, he did not bring anyone with him, and asked the Devil Ancestor Mishan and Long Batian to wait for him at the Sky Burial Academy. Not far from the Sky Burial Academy, Yang Xiaoshan directly rode the Sky Blue Thunder Python, and rushed to the Soul Beast Forest with all his strength. Chapter 295, Hell Abyss. On the way, Yang Xiaoshan was not idle either. He sat cross-legged on the mountain-like head of the Azure Thunder Python to practice. To condense the Soul Ring, one must break through the Martial Emperor. Before entering the Soul Beast Forest, he had to break through the Martial Emperor. However, Yang Xiaoshan had already reached the peak of the 10th level of the Martial Sect, and it was not difficult to break through the Martial Emperor. Therefore, before Yang Xiaoshan came to the Soul Beast Forest, he successfully broke through to the Martial Emperor realm. After entering the Soul Beast Forest, Yang Xiaoshan, Azure Thunder Python, and Ice Flame Kirin flew to the end of the Soul Beast Forest. According to Liao Bing and Liao Meng, if you want to find a million-year Soul Beast, there is only one place in the Soul Beast Forest where you can find a million-year Soul Beast, and that is the end of the Soul Beast Forest, the Hell Abyss. When mentioning the Hell Abyss, Azure Thunder Python and Ice Flame Kirin could not hide their fear. The Hell Abyss is the most terrifying place in the Kangshen continent. Is the Hell Abyss really that terrifying? Yang Xiaoshan asked, when he saw the frightened look of Azure Thunder Python and Ice Flame Kirin. The Azure Thunder Python and the Ice Flame Kirin both nodded solemnly, their faces extremely solemn. Thousands of years ago, 17 gods joined forces to enter the abyss of hell, and in the end, only one person was able to escape. When the Ice Flame Kirin said this, his voice became a little unnatural. The one who escaped was the Lord of Buddha Origin. The Lord of Buddha Origin. Yang Ocean was shocked. The Lord of Buddha Origin was the current top expert of the Buddha Origin Empire. And he was also the top expert of the surrounding empires. The Lord of Buddha Origin was the weakest among the 17 gods. The Ice Flame Kirin added, the Lord of Buddha Origin was able to escape because he had a Tathagata cassock passed down by an ancient Buddha. He relied on the Tathagata cassock, an ancient Buddhist treasure, to escape. Even so, he almost died in the abyss of hell. Thousands of years have passed, and I don't know if he has recovered from his injuries now. Yang Ocean was shocked. The Lord of Buddha Origin is the current top expert of the Buddha Origin Empire. He is also the weakest among the 17 people who entered the Hell Abyss that year. You can imagine how strong the 17 people were back then. Even so, all the others died in the Hell Abyss. After the Lord of Buddha Origin escaped, he said that there was an extremely terrifying existence living in the Hell Abyss. No one knows how many years that existence has lived. The Sky Blue Thunder Python said with a dry mouth. He said that the bottom of the Hell Abyss is dark, and the other party is shrouded in the power of darkness, and the other party can't see the other party's body at all. We only know that the other party is bigger than the Teku God Mountain, and his blood red eyes are several miles wide. With one claw, he killed half of the 17 of them. With one claw, he killed 7 or 8 powerful gods. He calls himself the Lord of the Abyss. The Sky Blue Thunder Python said again, I don't know whether this Lord of the Abyss has lived for 1,000,000 years. Yang Ocean couldn't calm down for a long time. The Lord of the Abyss? I hope this Lord of the Abyss can live for 1,000,000 years. Nothing happened along the way. One person and 2 beasts flew at full speed to the Hell Abyss. Since warriors in the entire Kangshen continent need to condense soul rings, after breaking through the Martial Emperor, there are many warriors who enter the Soul Beast Forest to hunt soul beasts. Fights can be seen almost everywhere. However, as Yang Ocean continued to enter the depths of the Soul Beast Forest, the fights he encountered gradually became less and less. After one day, he encountered almost all soul beasts that were tens of thousands of years old. 3 days later, these soul beasts are getting stronger and stronger. At the beginning, those soul beasts sensed the powerful aura of the 2 beast gods, the Sky Blue Thunder Python and the Ice Flame Kirin, from a distance, and did not dare to approach. However, after entering the depths of the Soul Beast Forest, even the powerful aura of the 2 beast gods, the Sky Blue Thunder Python and the Ice Flame Kirin, could not suppress these soul beasts. These soul beasts attacked more and more frequently. Therefore, the speed of Yang Ocean and others was greatly affected. Finally, Yang Ocean asked Liao Bing and Liao Meng to restrain their aura as much as possible. Just as Yang Ocean rushed to the abyss of hell, Wei Zhongyuan was also hunting soul beasts in the depths of the Soul Beast Forest. In order to ensure that Wei Zhongyuan hunted a satisfactory soul beast, this time, his master, the Magic Sky Sword God, personally accompanied him into the Soul Beast Forest. Not only the Magic Sky Sword God, but also the old patriarch of the Peacock clan, Lan Xian Chang, accompanied Wei Zhongyuan into the Soul Beast Forest to hunt soul beasts. Wei Zhongyuan entered the Soul Beast Forest half a month earlier than Yang Ocean, but in the past half month, he has not been able to find a satisfactory soul beast. At night, the 3 of them sat around the campfire. Master, I heard that there is an extremely terrifying existence in the Hell Abyss. Wei Zhongyuan suddenly said. When they heard Wei Zhongyuan mention the Hell Abyss, even the Magic Sky Sword God and Lan Xian Chang's faces changed drastically. Don't even think about that being. After a long pause, the Magic Sky Sword God shook his head and said, no one in the Kangshen continent can kill that being. Wei Zhongyuan asked curiously, is that being really that terrifying? Lan Xian Chang smiled bitterly and said, more than terrifying. If that being comes out of the Hell Abyss, the entire Kangshen continent will become hell. Even if the Buddha Mother returns, she can't suppress that being. Unless the Lord of Kangshen can take action. The Magic Sky Sword God said with a complicated expression. But, even if that being can be killed, no one's martial soul can absorb that being's beast soul. That beast soul is so terrifying, that even the supreme martial soul will be directly blown up. Another 7 days. Yang Ocean, the Azure Thunder Python, and the Ice Flame Kirin have already reached the deepest part of the Soul Beast Forest. At this time, it is only 10,000 miles away from the Hell Abyss. However, the Azure Thunder Python and the Ice Flame Kirin are limited in strength and can no longer move forward, so they can only send Yang Ocean here. Yang Ocean asked the two beasts to wait for him here, and then, under the protection of the medicine cauldron, he continued to fly to the Hell Abyss. Suddenly, a huge poisonous scorpion attacked Yang Ocean. This poisonous scorpion was hundreds of feet tall. The scorpion's legs were hundreds of feet long, and the legs were covered with dense poisonous stingers. The scorpion's body had countless black eyes. Seeing this poisonous scorpion, and feeling the opponent's extremely powerful divine aura, Yang Ocean was shocked. Boom. The poisonous scorpion's legs hit the golden light shield. However, this divine scorpion was directly shocked by the golden light shield and rolled out. Seeing this, Yang Ocean felt relieved. As he approached the abyss of hell, Yang Ocean encountered several soul beasts of the divine realm, and these soul beasts were all dark and poisonous. Finally, Yang Ocean saw the abyss of hell from afar. Billowing black mist continued to spew out from the abyss of hell. From a distance, it looked like hell on earth. Before he approached the abyss of hell, a terrifying aura that enveloped the world made Yang Ocean breathless. Even with the protection of Ding Li's golden shield, Yang Ocean was still pressed to the point where he couldn't breathe. There was no soul beast to be seen here, and even the soul beasts in the divine realm didn't dare to approach the hell abyss. There was a dead silence. It was so quiet that it made people panic. Yang Ocean was so nervous that he was sweating all over. In trepidation, he finally walked to the edge of the hell abyss. Looking down, the hell abyss was like a hell beast with its mouth opened wide, waiting for him to enter. Chapter 296. Finally meeting the Lord of the Abyss. Yang Ocean took a deep breath and used the dragon art to the extreme and pushed the defense of the Dragon King's body to the extreme. His whole body was covered with dragon scales, and the wings of 100 feet of real dragon spread out behind him, and he jumped down. Although he knew that his Dragon King's body was useless in the eyes of the Lord of the Abyss, it was always good to have an extra layer of defense. Yang Ocean has now broken through the realm of the martial emperor and can fly in the air, and no longer needs to rely on the supreme magical power of the thousand swords of sky travel. As soon as he stepped into the abyss of hell, the boundless dark cold air suddenly rushed towards Yang Ocean like a tsunami. It hit the golden light cover and shook continuously. If it weren't for the golden light cover, Yang Ocean would have been blown back again. Yang Ocean fell down carefully. The darkness rolled. The cold air was pressing. The cold air in the abyss was as strong as the black cold air in the thousand Buddha's medicine god cave. And the cold air was pervasive, so Yang Ocean had to summon the flame of the earth. As the flame of the earth was summoned, the surrounding light became much brighter. However, even the flame of the earth, which was the first among the strange fires, could only illuminate the surrounding area of 100 meters. 100 meters away, it was still dark. The deeper he fell into the abyss, the quieter it became. It was so quiet that people could not hear any sound. Even the sound of the wind disappeared here. Outside the abyss, the roars of soul beasts came one after another, but when he entered the abyss, even the roars of soul beasts disappeared. Here, it seemed that there was an invisible force that blocked all the sounds from the outside world. The deeper he went, the more tense Yang Ocean became. Time became longer. He sank for about 10 minutes, but he still could not see the ground. With no way up to the sky or down to the ground, Yang Ocean seemed to be completely trapped in an endless dark quagmire. Suddenly, a hooran sounded from the bottom of the abyss. It was like thousands of thunders exploding, and the entire abyss was shaking. Yang Ocean was shocked by the explosion, and his mind was buzzing. What was this sound? Could it be? Yes, this is its snoring. The sound of the medicine cauldron sounded. The snoring of the Lord of the Abyss. A snore was like the explosion of thousands of divine thunders. Yang Ocean's hair stood on end. This was too powerful. Fortunately, there was no second snore after the first snore. The abyss returned to deathly silence again. Yang Ocean continued to go down. After an unknown amount of time, he finally saw the ground. When he stepped on the ground was dry. Yang Ocean took a few steps and found a pile of bones in the distance. When he got closer, he saw that the bones were filled with amazing divinity. This is the skeleton of a god. Yang Xiaoshen's heart jumped suddenly. This was the first time he saw the skeleton of a powerful god. The powerful gods were supreme in the Kangshen continent. Now seeing a skeleton of a god with his own eyes was extremely shocking. Next to the skeleton of the powerful god, he found a long sword of the artifact level. But this long sword of the artifact level was broken. It was broken into 3 sections and scattered around. The artifact is indestructible. Even if the powerful gods bombard it crazily, it is impossible to break an artifact. But now this artifact sword is broken here. Not far from the sword, Yang Xiaoshen also found a space ring. Seeing this space ring, Yang Xiaoshen's heart speeded up. Undoubtedly, this is the space ring of this powerful god. Yang Xiaoshen picked up the space ring and opened it. He saw that it was full of various spiritual stones, almost all of which were top-grade spiritual stones. In addition to top-grade spiritual stones, there were also many materials for refining medicine. In addition to these, there were also many secret manuals. Yang Xiaoshen took the space ring and the broken sword away, and then began to look for the Lord of the Abyss. However, after half a day, Yang Xiaoshen searched every corner of the bottom of the abyss, but still did not find the Lord of the Abyss. Instead, he found 15 more skeletons of gods. Obviously, these gods were all the powerful gods who came in with the Lord of the Buddha. Just when Yang Xiaoshen was wondering where the Lord of the Abyss was hiding, suddenly, the ground beneath his feet began to shake violently. No, the entire abyss was shaking. It was as if a super terrifying thing was coming out from the ground. The ground began to crack at an alarming speed. It was not just one place that was cracking, but all corners of the ground were cracking. Suddenly, the cracked ground under Yang Xiaoshen's feet arched upward. Yang Xiaoshen's face changed, and he quickly spread his dragon wings and flew upward. As Yang Xiaoshen continued to fly upward, the ground continued to arch upward, as if no matter how high Yang Xiaoshen flew, the ground would arch as high. As the ground continued to arch up, an unimaginable black giant appeared in front of Yang Xiaoshen. This black giant was filled with dark energy, and its eyes were like 2 blood-red lakes. When it stood up, it covered the sky and the sun, as if it was going to burst the entire hell abyss. Yang Xiaoshen knew how big the hell abyss was. He had just flown for a long time, before flying it once. But now, when this black giant stood up, the hell abyss seemed extremely narrow. Yang Xiaoshen was shocked when he saw the Lord of the Abyss, who was spewing endless dark air and almost filling up the hell abyss. My god. It's so big. No wonder he couldn't find this Lord of the Abyss just now. It turns out that the entire hell abyss was this Lord of the Abyss. The ground he stepped on just now was on the back of this Lord of the Abyss, or even on his butt. Thinking that he might have stepped on someone's butt just now, Yang Xiaoshen's feet were numb. Finally, this Lord of the Abyss stood up completely. Looking at this Lord of the Abyss, Yang Xiaoshen thought of the Azure Thunder Python and the Ice Flame Kirin. The bodies of Liao Bing and Liao Meng were big enough, but compared to the Lord of the Abyss in front of him, they were just small chickens. The Lord of the Abyss stared at Yang Xiaoshen with 2 blood-red eyes, which made people shudder. It said, "Little guy, are you looking for me?" Just now, its snoring sounded like millions of divine thunders exploding. Now, when it opened its mouth, it was more than millions of divine thunders. The whole abyss was shaking and echoing for a long time. "Yes, I'm looking for you," Yang Xiaoshen said as calmly as possible. "Looking for me? What for?" The Lord of the Abyss was still staring at Yang Xiaoshen, and at the same time, he wondered how Yang Xiaoshen got in. "Kill you." Yang Xiaoshen took a deep breath and said slowly, "Absorb your beast soul, and condense a million-year soul ring." The Lord of the Abyss was stunned for a moment, and then laughed loudly. The laughter shook the abyss and the surrounding rocks fell from the cliffs of the abyss like rain. "Little guy, you want to kill me?" The Lord of the Abyss laughed. "Do you know how long I have lived? I have lived for nearly 2 million years. This is the first time I heard someone say that they want to kill me and absorb my beast soul." It did not get angry, but laughed. "You are quite courageous, little guy. How about this? I will not kill you. I'm very bored in this hell abyss. How about you accompany me at the bottom of this abyss?" As for how long to accompany, of course, it would wait until the day when it ascends to the 9th heaven. Just as it finished speaking, Yang Xiaoshen shouted, "Master Ding." Chapter 297 The Beast Soul of the Lord of the Abyss. when Yang Ocean roared. Suddenly, Yang Ocean's whole body was covered with golden light, and a golden light shot up into the sky. When the golden light shot up into the sky, the entire abyss was illuminated. The abyss, which was originally shrouded by the dark aura of the Lord of the Abyss, was so dark that it made people breathless, but now, the dark aura as thick as water was actually covered by the golden light. The golden light penetrated into every corner of the abyss of hell. The dark aura of the Lord of the Abyss was like a layer of gold. Even the Lord of the Abyss seemed to be covered with a layer of golden light. In the surprised eyes of the Lord of the Abyss, the medicine cauldron wrapped in golden light began to grow wildly. The medicine cauldron, which was originally only 1 person tall, instantly grew to 10 feet, 100 feet, or 1,000 feet. Finally, 10,000 feet. It was even bigger than the original Lord of the Abyss. The vast divine power, like an endless sea, swept from the medicine cauldron. Yang Ocean was stunned as he watched the changes in the medicine cauldron. He had seen the medicine cauldron in action before, but this was the first time he had seen it become so big, and the first time he had seen it so powerful. Is this the true form of Lord Ding? Oh my god. Lord Ding's true form is so big. At this moment, all the strong men who entered the Soul Beast Forest saw a terrifying golden light column rushing into the sky. It illuminated the entire area around the Hell Abyss. Wei Zhangyan, the magic sky sword god, and Lan Xianchang, who had originally entered the Soul Beast Forest to hunt soul beasts, also saw this terrifying golden column. This direction is the direction of the Hell Abyss. The magic sky sword god's face changed drastically. It's the Hell Abyss. Something happened in the Hell Abyss. Lan Xianchang's face also changed drastically. They all knew what the Hell Abyss was. If something happened in the Hell Abyss, it would definitely be a shocking event. A super shocking event. Did someone enter the Hell Abyss? Which supreme overlord is it? Could it be the ancient beast god Lord Kang Xiang? Lan Xianchang said in a trembling voice. In his opinion, the only one who could enter the Hell Abyss and dare to fight the Lord of the Abyss was the ancient beast god Lord Kang Xiang, the mount of their Lord Kang Shen. The magic sky sword god took a deep breath and was about to speak when suddenly, a deafening roar sounded from the Hell Abyss. The sound was so loud that it was unknown how many miles away it could be heard. The entire Soul Beast Forest was trembling violently. The power of destroying the heavens and the earth began to impact the surroundings from the Hell Abyss. Above the Hell Abyss, a terrifying space black hole was blown open by this terrifying power. This deafening roar frightened the souls of the spirit realm soul beasts around the Hell Abyss, and they fled in fear and roared. The entire Soul Beast Forest seemed to be destroyed. The magic sky sword god was shocked and soared into the sky with Wei Zhangyan. Let's retreat quickly. Lan Xianchang was also so scared that he ran away. If the soul beasts in the Soul Beast Forest rioted together, it would be absolutely terrifying. And there were so many spirit realm soul beasts rioting. The masters of various sects and families who entered the Soul Beast Forest were also scared and fled. At this time, in the abyss of hell, the huge medicine cauldron and the huge master of the abyss began to collide again and again. It was like a golden strongman and a dark strongman constantly colliding with each other. The sky shaking sound continued. The destructive force blasted Yang Ocean directly into the abyss. Yang Ocean was shocked at the god of the earth. It was shocked that the sky was the earth and the earth was the sky. It was shocked that 9 out of 10 was 10. However, with each sky shaking collision, the dark energy of the master of the abyss was shaken and rolled up and down, like a turbulent dark sea being smashed into a golden mountain. With each collision, the master of the abyss was shaken back and roared. The master of the abyss raised his huge claws like a mountain and slapped the medicine cauldron towards the sky. There was a loud bang. The golden light exploded. However, the medicine cauldron was not only not knocked away, but it also shocked the Lord of the Abyss to retreat. Yang Ocean was shocked as he watched this world-shaking battle. Back then, the battle between the two beast gods, the Azure Thunder Python and the Ice Flame Kirin, and the 17 gods, Wu Peng and Tang Hong, was so shocking, but compared to the battle in front of him, it was just a child's play. What a great power. Is this the power that surpasses the gods? Yang Ocean stared at the battle between the Lord of the Abyss and Master Ding. Back then in the Red Moon Forest, Master Ding made him face the power of the beast tide to temper his will. Now the power of the Lord of the Abyss and Master Ding is more than just tempering his will. After a long battle, the dark energy on the Lord of the Abyss became weaker and weaker. Even the roaring sound gradually became weaker. Yang Xiaoshan could see that the Lord of the Abyss had been completely suppressed by the medicine cauldron. Seeing this result, he finally let go of his hanging heart. A long time passed. Finally, everything calmed down. Even if Yang Xiaoshan had the protection of the golden light shield, he still felt like bleeding all over his body. He stuck to the deep of the cliff. His bones seemed to be shattered, and he couldn't even move his fingers. With the operation of the dragon art, his hands and feet slowly regained consciousness. Finally, Yang Xiaoshan was able to come out from the deep of the cliff. After coming out, looking at the unrecognizable and devastated hell abyss, Yang Xiaoshan was stunned. He saw rocks rolling down from the cliffs everywhere. The abyss cliffs were almost blasted through. There were many terrifying black holes, and the earth was blasted out with holes. It was like the scene after the collapse of heaven and earth. The huge Lord of the Abyss lay in the pile of billions of stones, dying. The dark aura on it had completely dissipated, revealing its true appearance. It had a pair of huge fangs, sharp claws, a dark body, blood-red eyes, and 2 rows of giant blades on its body. Seeing the true form of the Lord of the Abyss, Yang Xiaoshan was shocked. He had also read many books about soul beasts, but he couldn't recognize what kind of soul beast the Lord of the Abyss was in front of him. At this time, the medicine cauldron turned back to the size of a palm and flew down from the sky. It said, "This is a beast from hell. Beast from hell." Yang Xiaoshan was surprised. "Master Ding, do you mean it comes from hell? Is there really hell in this world?" "Yes, it comes from hell," the medicine cauldron said. "Fortunately, you prepared enough 9 heaven tribulation thunder water, otherwise, both you and I would have to die here. It's dying now. Get ready and absorb its beast soul." However, it's almost 2 million years old, and its beast soul is beyond imagination. You have to hold on. If Yang Xiaoshan cannot absorb the beast soul of the Lord of the Abyss, he will definitely be blown up. Yang Xiaoshan's heart trembled, and he flew to the sky above the Lord of the Abyss. As soon as he sat cross-legged, the Lord of the Abyss completely stopped moving, and then a ball of extremely strong dark light flew out of its head. Inside the dark light ball was a miniature version of the Lord of the Abyss. However, although it was a miniature version, it was still as big as a mountain. This is the beast soul of the Lord of the Abyss. Yang Xiaoshan quickly summoned out his Supreme King Martial Soul. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 298, Million Year Spirit Ring. Yang Xiaoshan has 2 Supreme King Martial Spirits. This time, Yang Xiaoshan plans to use his Black Dragon Martial Spirit to absorb the beast soul of the Lord of the Abyss. Although Xuanwu and Black Dragon are both Supreme King Martial Spirits, Yang Xiaoshan still prefers the Black Dragon Martial Spirit, perhaps because he comes from Earth and has a special feeling for dragons. Therefore, he plans to use the Black Dragon Martial Spirit to absorb the Lord of the Abyss. After all, the Lord of the Abyss is a soul beast that is nearly 2 million years old. This kind of soul beast is already hard to come by. It should be impossible to find another one that is nearly 2 million years old next time. The Black Dragon Martial Spirit coiled above Yang Xiaoshan's head. Under Yang Xiaoshan's urging, the Black Dragon Martial Spirit, like the ancient sacred mountain, opened its mouth and swallowed the beast soul of the Lord of the Abyss. Suddenly, black light continued to emerge from the beast soul light group of the Lord of the Abyss. The black light is the energy of the beast soul of the Lord of the Abyss. However, this energy was so huge that it poured into the Black Dragon Martial Soul like a huge wave. Even the Black Dragon Martial Soul that had evolved to the Supreme King was constantly expanding. And it was growing bigger and bigger. The energy transformed by the Abyss Lord's Beast Soul still blasted into the Black Dragon Martial Soul like an endless wave. The Black Dragon Martial Soul was doubled in size. Yang Xiaoshan was connected to the Black Dragon Martial Soul in mind, and his mind also felt a faint pain. He madly ran the dragon art over and over again. Dragons of true essence were wrapped around his body, As the Dragonaut was running, the Black Dragon Martial Soul's absorption speed increased a lot, but even if the Black Dragon Martial Soul's absorption speed increased, it was still constantly expanding. The energy of the Abyss Lord's Beast Soul was beyond Yang Ocean's imagination. If it was the energy of an ordinary million-year soul beast, the Black Dragon could completely withstand it, but the Abyss Lord was not an ordinary million years old, but close to 2 million years old. Tiny cracks began to appear on the dragon body of the Black Dragon Martial Soul. If this continues, the Black Dragon Martial Soul will burst sooner or later. As cracks appeared on the body of the Black Dragon Martial Soul, Yang Ocean felt a sharp pain in his heart. His mind was constantly torn apart by invisible forces, and this severe pain continued to come from the depths of his soul. Yang Ocean gritted his teeth and insisted on running the dragon beginning technique. The Black Dragon Martial Soul continued to absorb the energy of the Lord of the Abyss's Beast Soul over and over again. As time passed, the cracks on the body of the Black Dragon Martial Soul became larger and larger. Even the dragon scales on the dragon body began to fall off. Yang Ocean was no longer in pain to the bone marrow. It hurt so much that he wanted to scream. It hurt so much that he wanted to give up. This was simply 10 or 100 times more painful than being cut into pieces. However, Yang Ocean knew that if he gave up, he would never be able to reach the peak again in his life, and his Black Dragon Martial Soul would leave an indelible scar. By then, his martial arts heart would no longer be flawless. It would be difficult for him to become a god in the future. Therefore, no matter how much pain Yang Ocean felt, he kept running the dragon beginning technique. The Black Dragon Martial Soul absorbed the energy of the Beast Soul of the Lord of the Abyss over and over again. Time passed by bit by bit. The dragon scales on the Black Dragon Martial Soul were still falling off. Due to the extreme pain, Yang Ocean had fallen into a state of near coma. However, he always maintained the last bit of consciousness and did not let himself fall. Just when all the dragon scales on the Black Dragon Martial Soul fell off, suddenly, a burst of strong black flames appeared on the dragon body of the Black Dragon Martial Soul. Wrapped in the black flames, the dragon body of the Black Dragon Martial Soul began to produce tiny dragon scales again. And the dragon scales grew vigorously in the blink of an eye, and once again covered the whole body densely. As the dragon scales regenerated, the cracks on the dragon body of the Black Dragon Martial Soul gradually recovered. Even the pain in Yang Ocean's mind was reduced a lot. This surprised Yang Ocean. Unexpectedly, after evolving to the Supreme King, the Black Dragon Martial Soul has the ability to heal itself. The black flame is a bit similar to the Nirvana fire of the Phoenix. However, after the Black Dragon Martial Soul's dragon scales grew back, the dragon's body was soon torn apart by the energy of the Lord of the Abyss's Beast Soul, and the dragon scales fell off piece by piece again. However, after all the dragon scales of the Black Dragon Martial Soul fell off, the black flame appeared again. In this way, the dragon scales of the Black Dragon Martial Soul fell off again and again, and grew again. After each regrowth, the dragon scales became darker and brighter, and the dragon's body became tougher. After 9 times, finally, no matter how strong the Lord of the Abyss's Beast Soul energy was, it could no longer tear the black dragon's body. The black dragon eagerly absorbed the opponent's Beast Soul energy. Finally, the Lord of the Abyss's Beast Soul, which was as big as a mountain, began to shrink. At first, it shrank by 1 circle. Then, it shrank by 2 circles, 3 circles. When the Lord of the Abyss's Beast Soul shrank, a faint golden red halo appeared all over the black dragon's body. This is the Soul Ring. The 10-year Soul Ring is the lowest level Soul Ring, which is white. When the Soul Ring reaches 100 years, it is yellow. The 1000-year Soul Ring is purple, and the 10,000-year Soul Ring is very powerful, which is black. 100,000-year Soul Ring is red, so red that it looks purple. But at this time, Yang Ocean's Soul Ring is red, so red that it looks golden, with red in the gold and gold in the red. A few days later, the golden red Soul Ring became brighter and brighter. When the golden red Soul Ring was condensed to the extreme, there was another faint golden red light circle outside the golden red light circle. 1 golden red light circle means that Yang Ocean's Soul Ring is 1,000,000 years old. 2 means 2 million years. However, the Lord of the Abyss is close to 2 million years old, so the second light circle is much lighter than the first one. Finally, the black dragon completely absorbed the energy of the Lord of the Abyss Beast Soul. The Lord of the Abyss Beast Soul turned into a black light, sank into the black dragon's body, and merged with the black dragon. The light of Yang Zai Ocean Soul Ring increased greatly. It actually illuminated the entire Hell Abyss. Not only was the entire Hell Abyss illuminated, but also the many spaces around the Hell Abyss were illuminated, shining red and shining gold. Yang Zai Ocean stopped the operation of the dragon art. Looking at the soul ring halo that was shining brightly around him, Yang Zai Ocean showed a happy smile. After surviving a disaster, the million-year soul ring was finally condensed successfully. However, thinking back to the inhuman pain that he had almost died before, Yang Zai Ocean still had lingering fears. Fortunately, after the Black Dragon Martial Soul evolved to the Supreme King, it had the ability to heal itself. Otherwise, not only would the Black Dragon Martial Soul be blown up, but I'm afraid his mind would be destroyed. Yaoding smiled at this time and said, "Not bad, it finally condensed successfully. This time you can condense a million-year soul ring, which can be said to be a rebirth. The benefits to you are unimaginable." Yang Zai Ocean also smiled happily and said, "I can condense a million-year soul ring, thanks to Master Ding. Otherwise, I can't condense it, even if I want to." Then he said, "I didn't expect Master Ding's body to be so big." Yaoding smiled and said, "This is not my body. My body is much bigger than this." Yang Zai Ocean was surprised. "Isn't this Master Ding's body? My body is bigger than the Soul Beast Forest." Yaoding said, "Bigger than the Soul Beast Forest?" Yang Zai Ocean was completely shocked. Chapter 299 Deep Sea Demon Kun. The Abyss Lord's body is big enough, right? It will burst the Hell Abyss. When the medicine cauldron became bigger, it was bigger than the Abyss Lord. It was shocking enough. Now, the medicine cauldron said that its body is actually bigger than the Soul Beast Forest. How big is that? Yang Zai Ocean couldn't imagine it. You have to know that the Soul Beast Forest is vast and boundless, larger than the area of the Dragon Empire. In fact, the medicine cauldron is understating it. Its real body is not only bigger than the Soul Beast Forest. Are you scared? The medicine cauldron said, "Actually, it's nothing. You are surprised now, mainly because your vision is limited. When you become a god in the future, your vision will be broadened, and you won't think it's a big deal." Then he said, "The Abyss Lord is a soul beast that is nearly 2 million years old. It is full of treasures. Don't waste it." Yang Zai Ocean woke up. A soul beast that is 10,000 years old is full of treasures. For example, beast blood can be used to refine soul pills. Warriors who swallow soul pills to practice can enhance the power of the soul. For example, beast bones and beast skins can be refined into armor to resist the enemy's soul attack. The blood and skin of a 10,000-year-old soul beast have such an effect, not to mention the soul beast of the Lord of the Abyss, which is nearly 2 million years old. Immediately, Yang Zai Ocean put the body of the Lord of the Abyss into the medicine cauldron. Afterwards, Yang Zai Ocean searched the Hell Abyss again, and after making sure that there was nothing left, he left the Hell Abyss. After coming out of the Hell Abyss, Yang Zai Ocean felt like he had seen the light of day again. In the Hell Abyss, it was like being trapped in a dark quagmire. That feeling was as uncomfortable as it could be. However, now that the Lord of the Abyss was killed, the dark aura of the Hell Abyss has begun to gradually dissipate. Yang Zai Ocean returned along the same route and saw the Azure Thunder Python and the Ice Flame Kirin. The two were worried and tormented, and they were overjoyed to see Yang Zai Ocean come out. "Young master." The two greeted him happily. Looking at their expectant eyes, Yang Zai Ocean nodded and smiled. "It's done. It's done." Azure Thunder Python and Ice Flame Kirin were overjoyed and shocked. Their young master actually succeeded in condensing. He condensed a million-year soul ring. Since ancient times, no one has been able to condense a million-year soul ring. The last person to condense a million-year soul ring was the Lord of their Kangshen continent, Lord Kangshen. More than a million years have passed, and Kangshen continent finally has a million-year soul ring. However, Yang Zai Ocean did not leave the Soul Beast Forest immediately, but continued to search near the Hell Abyss to see if he could find the second million-year soul beast. After all, his Zuanwu martial soul has not condensed a soul ring yet. If possible, he wants to condense the second million-year soul ring. But what disappointed Yang Zai Ocean was that, after searching for several days, he still couldn't find the second million-year soul beast. Not to mention a million years, even a 900,000-year soul beast couldn't be found. There are a few 100,000-year and 200,000-year soul beasts, but they are too far from what Yang Zai Ocean asked for. At night, Yang Zai Ocean and his friends sat around the campfire, grilling and drinking. The night in the soul beast forest is still very beautiful. When he first entered the soul beast forest, Yang Zai Ocean thought the soul beasts in the soul beast forest were annoying, but now, he thinks the roars of the beasts in the soul beast forest are quite pleasant. I wonder if it is, because he has absorbed the soul of the Lord of the Abyss. Yang Zai Ocean, the Azure Thunder Python, and the Ice Flame Kirin are still talking about the million-year soul beast. There should be no second million-year soul beast in the soul beast forest. Ice Flame Kirin shook his head and recalled, but there may be one in the Soul Sea. Soul Sea. Azure Thunder Python's face changed. Old Bing, are you talking about the one in the Soul Sea? Ice Flame Kirin's face was solemn. That's the one. Soul Sea. Yang Zai Ocean was puzzled. Ice Flame Kirin explained, the Soul Sea is not in the Kangshen continent, but it is adjacent to our Kangshen continent. The Soul Sea is vast and boundless, even larger than the Soul Beast forest. There is a Soul Beast god in the Soul Sea, who is also the Lord of the Soul Sea. It should be more than a million years old. No one knows how long that person has lived, but even if he is not as old as the Lord of the Abyss, he is not much different. Yang Zai Ocean was very excited. However, the Soul Sea is too far away. The Azure Thunder Python shook his head and said, even if I fired full speed, it will take 3 months. 3 months. Yang Zai Ocean frowned. What is the true form of the Lord of the Soul Sea? Yang Zai Ocean asked. It is a deep sea demon Kun. Bing Iron Killin said in a deep voice, it is the offspring of the ancient divine beast Kun Peng and the ancient demon whale. Its strength in the sea is absolutely terrifying. Legend has it that, as long as the Soul Sea is still there, it will not die. From this legend, we can see the terrifying strength of the deep sea demon Kun. Is there a spaceship that can fly to the Soul Sea within a month? Yang Zai Ocean asked. Difficult. The Azure Thunder Python said, even ordinary artifact spaceships don't have such a fast speed, unless it is a true god level spaceship. Above the artifact, there is a true artifact. Bing Iron Killin suddenly said, I remember that the ancestor of the Mew family got a broken true god level spaceship. If it can be repaired, it can still be used, but it is difficult to repair it. Mew family? Yang Zai Ocean didn't expect that Mew Yunshin's Mew family would have a broken true god spaceship. This time, he got a lot of good things from the Lord of the Abyss. It should be no problem to repair a broken true god spaceship. Just when Yang Zai Ocean and others were talking about the deep sea demon Kun and the true god spaceship, suddenly, there was a huge shock and a fierce beast roar in front. Then, a wounded soul beast flew from a distance and fell on the ground not far from Yang Zai Ocean and others. This soul beast is not weak, it should be 50,000 years old. Obviously, the person chasing it has at least the 6th level of the Saint Realm. Just as this soul beast fell, several people flew in from a distance. The leader was a young man wearing a Buddhist robe. Judging from his attire, he should be a student of the Foyuan Academy. There are 2 major colleges in the Foyuan Empire. One is the Xianzang Academy and the other is the Foyuan Academy. To enter the Xianzang Academy, you just need to pay the tuition, but the Foyuan Academy is different. You can only enter after passing the layers of assessment. To be able to enter the Foyuan Academy, you must be a genius. Behind the young man, followed by 4 Saint Realms, the 5 men landed beside the soul beast. The young man took out a blue broadsword and stabbed it directly into the soul beast's throat. Then, he pulled out the sword and continued to stab, venting his anger. Damn, weren't you very majestic just now? Get up, you motherfucker. He almost died at the hands of this soul beast just now. The blood of this soul beast splattered all over the ground around Yang Zai Ocean, and even a few spots were splashed on the barbecue. The smell of blood was pungent. Yang Zai Ocean frowned. Seeing Yang Zai Ocean frown, the young man waved his sword at Yang Zai Ocean, very arrogantly, with a fierce look on his face. What, kid, are you upset? Believe it or not, I will stab you too. Chapter 300, half a move is enough to defeat you. However, as soon as the young man finished speaking, Yang Zai Ocean punched him directly. He hit the opponent's belly from a distance. Boom. The young man was knocked back and shot into the distant forest. It was unknown how far he rolled. After the 4 Saint Realm Masters were stunned, they were all furious, looking for death. The 4 of them attacked Yangzai Ocean, the Sky Blue Thunder Python, and the Ice Flame Kirin. The Ice Flame Kirin didn't even look at them. He waved his hand directly, and a stream of ice blue cold air was like a surging sea, knocking the 4 people out at the same time. The 4 people were almost invisible, and fell at the end of Yangzai Ocean's sight. Seeing this, the young man's face changed drastically. He climbed up, and felt his belly twitching violently. He stared at Yangzai Ocean in shock and anger, but he didn't dare to say anything more, and fled in panic. They should be Buddhists, Ice Flame Kirin said. From the actions of the 4 people just now, he judged that some of them were Buddhists from the Foyuan Empire. The Buddhists are deeply rooted in Foyuan, and their power is complex and spread all over Foyuan. The Zhang family is very powerful, but it is still inferior to the Buddhists. Moreover, the Buddhists have an unclear relationship with the Peacock clan. Yangzai Ocean also knew about the Buddhists, but he didn't take it seriously. The next day, the sky was getting light. Yangzai Ocean left the Soul Beast Forest with the Sky Blue Thunder Python and the Ice Flame Kirin. Since he knew that there was a million-year-old deep sea demon cunning in the Soul Sea, he didn't need to search for it in the Soul Beast Forest anymore. And now it was close to the day of his decisive battle with Wei Zhongyuan. Yangzai Ocean rode the Sky Blue Thunder Python and rushed back to the Sky Burial Academy. Finally, one day before the decisive battle, he rushed back to the Sky Burial Academy. Because of his decisive battle with Wei Zhongyuan, strong men from all sides flocked to the Sky Burial Academy. The Sky Burial Academy was overcrowded. As soon as Yangzai Ocean returned to the Sky Burial Academy, he heard the news that Wei Zhongyuan condensed a soul ring was spreading everywhere in the Sky Burial Academy. The soul ring that Wei Zhongyuan condensed is 99,000 years old. And the soul beast he hunted is the purple-eyed bull demon king with the blood of the top divine beast. When they learned that Wei Zhongyuan hunted the purple-eyed bull demon king with the blood of the top divine beast, and it was 99,000 years old, tens of millions of students in Xianzang Academy were shocked. No one in Kangshen continent can condense a soul ring of 100,000 years. Therefore, 99,000 years is already the limit. Moreover, the purple-eyed bull demon king hunted by Wei Zhongyuan had an extremely powerful bloodline. This is even more amazing. Super divine beasts are almost impossible to find. The purple-eyed bull demon king with the blood of the top divine beast is second only to the super divine beast. Although Wei Zhongyuan's soul ring is 99,000 years old, I'm afraid it's not weaker than the legendary 100,000 year soul ring. A family elder exclaimed. The soul beast has a powerful bloodline, and after being hunted, the soul ring condensed is also powerful. Even soul rings of the same year have different powers. Wei Zhongyuan's 99,000 year soul ring was obtained by hunting the purple-eyed bull demon king. In terms of power, it is probably not weaker than the legendary 100,000 year soul ring. After learning that Wei Zhongyuan's soul ring was the 99,000 year purple-eyed bull demon king, Yangzai Ocean's face remained normal. Mi Xian Emozu, Long Bei Xian and others knew that Yangzai Ocean was back, so they hurried to find Yangzai Ocean. When they met Mi Xian Emozu, Yangzai Ocean asked about the cave of the thousand Buddha medicine god in Foyuan. Mi Xian Emozu hurriedly replied, reporting to the young master, I have found some clues about the cave of the thousand Buddha medicine god in Foyuan. Oh. Yangzai Ocean heard it and asked happily, where is it in Foyuan? In the Foyuan Redemption Land. Mi Xian Emozu said respectfully. Redemption Land? Yangzai Ocean was quite surprised. The Redemption Land is a very special place in Foyuan. Generally, only those who are judged as guilty by the major Zen temples in Foyuan will be expelled to the Redemption Land and let them fend for themselves. Legend has it that an extremely evil demon is sealed in the Land of Redemption. Infected by its evil aura, the Land of Redemption is lifeless. It is a place of poor mountains and bad waters, with a lack of spiritual energy, and is not suitable for warriors to survive. Are you sure it is in the Land of Redemption? Yangzai Ocean asked. He still felt strange. Why would the thousand Buddha medicine god build a cave in a place like the Land of Redemption? It is in the Land of Redemption. The Devil Ancestor Mission said, but the specific location has not been found yet. I will have someone continue to check. Yang Xiaoshan nodded, then took out a holy level pill and gave it to the Devil Ancestor Mission. I will give you another one when the specific location is found. The Devil Ancestor Mission was ecstatic and bowed down to thank him. He is now a demigod, and the most lacking thing is the holy level pill. Long Batian, Li Yushan and others looked at the Devil Ancestor Mission with envy. Yang Xiaoshan led a few people to Mu Yunshan's Peach Blossom Peak. He wanted to ask Mu Yunshan about the True God spaceship. Seeing that Yang Xiaoshan was going to fight a decisive battle tomorrow, but he still wanted to find Mu Yunshan, Long Batian and the other three were worried. Now, almost no one in the entire academy was optimistic about Yang Xiaoshan. Not to mention the Xianzang Academy, even the powerful people who came to watch the battle were not optimistic about Yang Xiaoshan. The four were also worried about Yang Xiaoshan's decisive battle tomorrow. They knew that Yang Xiaoshan was extremely powerful, but after learning that Wei Zhangyuan had hunted down the purple-eyed bull demon king and condensed a 99,000-year soul ring, their confidence was shaken. Just as Yang Xiaoshan was coming to Teohua Peak, he met Wei Zhangyuan on the road. Wei Zhangyuan was surrounded by masters from various sects and schools. He was wearing a dark blue brocade robe, which was extraordinary and very conspicuous. Wei Zhangyuan also saw Yang Xiaoshan from a distance, smiled coldly, and walked towards Yang Xiaoshan. Yang Xiaoshan, I thought you were too scared to come back. Tomorrow is the day of the decisive battle, but Yang Xiaoshan has not been seen yet. Now many people in the academy are saying that Yang Xiaoshan was too scared to come back after learning that Wei Zhangyuan had condensed a 99,000-year soul ring. Don't dare. Why wouldn't I dare to come back? Yang Xiaoshan smiled when he heard it. To defeat you, half a move is enough. As soon as Yang Xiaoshan said this, everyone's face instantly became strange. Now almost no one in the entire academy is optimistic about Yang Xiaoshan. But what did Yang Xiaoshan say just now? To defeat Wei Zhangyuan, only half a move is needed? Wei Zhangyuan was also so angry that his face turned blue. He stared at Yang Xiaoshan and laughed angrily. To defeat me, half a move is enough. In other words, he would not be able to take a move from Yang Xiaoshan. All the men behind Wei Zhangyuan stared at Yang Xiaoshan in anger. Okay, Yang Xiaoshan, then I'll wait and see how you defeat me tomorrow. Wei Zhangyuan said coldly, and then led the crowd away. Long Batian, Li Yushan and others looked at Wei Zhangyuan's departing figure and couldn't help but smile bitterly. They really didn't expect that their young master would say that he could defeat Wei Zhangyuan with just half a move. After leaving, Chen Xia behind Wei Zhangyuan couldn't help but said angrily, this Yang Xiaoshan, damn it, does he think he has condensed a 100,000-year soul ring? Wei Zhangyuan said coldly, tomorrow, I will torture him until he dies. Even if he kneels down and begs me, it will be useless. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.